Ich habe jetzt nochmal OBS neu gestartet. Und meine Ausschläge in OBS zumindest sehen ganz normal aus. Ist jetzt besser, oder? Okay, cool. Ja, gut. She pauses, blah blah blah. It's clear disrupt targeting the people speaking out against them. If you even had advances struggling to prevent further silence overtakes the room. Yada yada. Boseman clears his voice before continuing. I've told you before, I don't want to hear about these so-called disappearances. Come on now, people. Advance has been very clear that they're nothing to worry about. Which means that they're not our problem. Ich muss der Ton ist wieder auf. Ne, ist er nicht. Warum ist das so laut? Which means they're not our problem unless they start classing cappuccinos as intellectual. I don't think anyone here has anything to worry about. Okay, cool. Look, between you and me, just leave it alone. Malaki comes from on high. It's out of my hands. So I'd appreciate it if you would refrain from talking about it further and make sure the news is in line with that school of thought, yes? He gives you a pat on the arm and smile before leaving to carry on with whatever it is he does during the workday. Mal sportliche 100 Tage später, ein bisschen mehr sogar. You drum your finger on the steering wheel impatiently as you wait for Charlie again. It's great. He's enjoying the cohesion cadets and is so enthusiastic. But doesn't really need to stay behind every week to help. It's your Saturday evening too, after all. Can't help it's my back. The frustration starting to fade as you see him so genuinely happy. After hugging his friend goodbye, Charlie heads over to the car and gets in his face flush with excitement. So how was you interrupted as he can't contain himself any longer? Guess what? Rod. So obviously the cohesion cadets is a starting point for becoming a CCO, so we get a head start when applying for that. Charlie Gush is clearly keen on explaining his news, almost tripping over the word in his effort to tell you. Well, apparently from next year the top 5% of cadets will be taken to a special program to become CCM's community cohesion managers, and guess who's gonna be in it? He beams at you. Warum genau darf der da immer noch mitmachen, wenn Sam und ich beschlossen haben, dass Advance der größte Kackladen des Jahrtausends ist? Das verstehe ich jetzt gerade nicht ganz, ehrlich gesagt. Oder habe ich irgendwas übersehen? Das ist doch das gleiche in Grün, oder nicht? Well, basically they knew the new liaison team between regular people, the CCO and the Bellarmine department, and that'll be us. People come to us with concerns and we decide whether they need referral and if so, to which department. So you're gonna be snitch? Well, yeah, I guess, but only bad people. It's about helping the community, making it safer for everyone. Charlie frowns at you. Don't like the CCOs or the Betterment teams? No, it's not that. Forget about it. Well done, but I'm proud of you. I'm just worried about them having that much power and turning people against each other. You're starting to sound like the people that Advance are trying to help. What? Warte mal, wie können wir vor 100 Tagen, 200 Tagen da sitzen und unsere Tochter, was? Ich kann gerade nicht folgen. Und unsere Tochter wurde von genau diesem Laden in die Luft gejagt und jetzt arbeitet unser Sohn für die und das ist cool? Don't worry, I'll make sure that everyone gets support they need. This is a good thing for the community and the team will be able to help everyone. He nods to himself and sits back in his seat. The mood in the car is somewhat icy for the rest of the journey home. I hope it's not a sign of where things are going. Das verstehe ich jetzt überhaupt nicht gerade. To be honest. Irgendwie so, als wenn deine Tochter im KZ gestorben ist und ein halbes Jahr später will deine Tochter gerne, oder umgekehrt dein Sohn gerne KZ-Vorsteher werden und alle sagen, ja, geil, mach doch mal. Cooler Job. Hä? You're surprised to find Sam in bed next to you when you wake up. They must have gotten very late last night from drinks and with the folks from school. You decide to let them sleep in and enjoy... To let them. Warum redet der von... Warum redet der eigentlich von der Frau immer die ganze Zeit in der Mehrzahl? Oder ist das let them? Ist das irgendwie eine andere Formulierung, die ich gerade nicht raffe? Ich bin völlig verwirrt gerade. With the house quiet, you decide to bring some breakfast into the living room to watch some TV while you eat. This is breaking news. Reports are coming in from across country that large swaths of farmland went up in flames last night as part of what authorities are calling a heinous and well-planned act of terrorism by a group known as Disrupt. You drop your spoon back into the porridge and turn up the volume. In addition to food stores, which government sources have said will put a strain on universal menu centers countrywide, a number of CCO and civic buildings were targeted in last night's attack. According to Prime Minister Julia Salisbury, specific prisons and re-education and betterment facilities, das klingt schon wie KZ, were raided. And a small selection of problematic and potentially dangerous individuals were forcibly extracted from lawful custody. You hold your breath waiting to hear if anyone got hurt. Unfortunately, it appears that the CCO were ill-prepared for an event like this. Disrupt seemed much more effective and well-organized in comparison. While most of the targeted locations were thankfully empty of people given the lateness of the hour, the betterment centers were fully staffed when they came on attack. 17 CCOs and 4 administrative staff lost their lives as a result of the brutal action of Disrupt last night, with countless more injured, many seriously rushed to hospital. A few Disrupt members were captured during the conflict, but the vast majority seem to have evaded capture so far. More on the story as it develops. You're interrupted by Charlie walking to the living room, bleary-eyed, with a piece of toast. Anything interesting going on? He gestures onto the TV. Mutely, you leave the news on and cycle through the story again. Charlie watches in a hushed silence. By the end of the broadcast, they're dubbing it the Night of Fire. Everything is going to be okay, right? Yeah, it's all going to be fine, but I hope so. We'll have to see. The Uprising.
Can you hear me? Alex? Are you receiving? This is Alan James. The revolution
Oh,
starts
Jesus.
Alex, and we need your help. Throughout this broadcast, we're going to ask you to do things that will directly help with this mass protest. I'll be talking to you regularly tonight, and I'll also be hacking you when I can. Please help get our message out. We're on the verge, Alex. You've always been fair and balanced in your approach to us. With your help, we can tip the balance in our favor. If you play our tape at the second break, that's when we think it will have the most impact. It's on your right.
Das machen wir doch glatt. Davor gibt's noch Crazy Neil. Und danach
What have you got to lose?
irgendwas anderes, scheißegal. Macht dann auch keinen Unterschied mehr, I guess.
Once you get past the teeth and the problematic tattoo.
I am perfectly capable of messing up my own love life.
Sorry about that. David wouldn't get off the phone.
Oh, is David single?
For Christ's sake, Colin, stay out of it.
I can help you. I'm an expert at romance. Ask my ex-wives.
Please don't set me up with your brother. That's 10 seconds, everybody.
You're not as tight, babe.
Too short?
Too smart.
Going in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening. This is the National Nightly News, broadcasting across the territories. My name is Megan Wolfe. Our top stories tonight: ashes to ashes. It's been 40 days since Disrupt conducted attacks across the territories. The coordinated action, dubbed the Night of Fire by commentators, was seen as an attempt to subvert the supply chain, but there may have been more to it. After a roadside IED toppled the convoy, prisoners, including Portia Hamilton-Mann, the daughter of the former Prime Minister, were freed and have subsequently vanished. The escapees are presumed to have fled the territories. Here at Channel 1, we say good riddance to bad rubbish. Food, glorious food. With the last of the menu centres opening in territories 5, 8 and 14 today, Advance confirmed that the programme is now in full operation, providing free food for every citizen of the new future. What started as rationing during the 20-week war has blossomed into a social contract that is the envy of the unawakened world. Jack Tractorpants, spokesman for the menu centres, said today that while they can guarantee the contents of every box is nutritious, the actual quality of the meals you cook depends on whether you have a touch of Chef Jordan Rankley or the culinary skills of a professional footballer. If I were a rich man, problems in
Chef
territories
Jordan
11,
Rankley.
17 and 22
Das ist Godor aber böse.
striking bosses attempted to undermine their new economies. With seemingly no awareness of irony, the former CEOs and MDs have come together to form the Wealth Creators Union, with demands including a return to 150% bonuses, private jets, and mandatory grovelling zones. Advance have been quick to respond, saying if they would rather quit their cushy jobs to become nurses or teachers, they'll earn significantly more than they used to pay their own workforce. Thus far, no one has taken up the challenge. Some fun now. Signs of ever more resistance to Advance's radical policies today, as popular resistance movement Disrupt extended their reach further across the territories. The organisation's emblem appeared in every major city across the territories last night.
Schön auf den Panda, gar kein Problem.
Stunt, which has seen them dominate the headlines. Asked about the impressive display earlier today, Disrupt spokesperson Alan James said that the movement was reaching what he described as a critical mass. A poor choice of words given recent history. And a few stories we've been following for a while reached their conclusions tonight. Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. The national outbreak of low-hanging testicular syndrome
What?
finally traced back to the activities of Remington's Fist. What had at first seemed like a booming success for Remington's pet project has ended uncomfortably for men throughout the territories. A slightly
Nimmst du die Anti-Baby-Pille für den Mann, kriegst du Schlepphoden.
Stop whinging before driving off so quickly that one photographer's foot and both of his nuts were run over in the kerfuffle.
Ja, total, mega nice. Wobei, da waren das so Riesenhoden eher, ne? Die so groß sind wie so ein, wie heißen die?
A concerning end to the tale of the trapped academics of Dante's Taint, as an image
Diese
transmitted to the surface seems to show them cooking.
Nicht Medizinbälle. Ja, weißt du, was ich meine?
After public indifference led to the mission's funding being slashed,
Gymnastikball, so ein Ding. Hüpfball, Gymnastikball.
constructed vessel through treacherous caverns to reach the stranded scientists. But on arrival, she found she hadn't been given enough fuel for a return journey. So it seems with their fate sealed, the shipwrecked scholars have reacted in the only reasonable fashion. Let's hope they've got enough croutons to go with their sailor soup. Man on. Footballer Johnny Handsleeves and his new wife Tiffany Lamour proudly announced today that their little team was 1-0 up at full time, which apparently means that they're having a baby. Once beset by tabloid controversy, Johnny seems to be settling well into family life, calling this latest news the ultimate golden goal, if a golden goal also peed on you. Plus, we'll be taking a trip to Dangley Park board, as well as getting a sneak peek at the hottest ticket in town. That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
People of the territories, today is the day we take back control. Soon it will be time for you to help us again. Come out of your houses. Block the trap.
Irgendwie vor am Ende ist Disrupt doch irgendwie ein Arschlochverein und wie du das machst, machst du es verkehrt. Ich sehe das schon kommen.
You always ask the same question. How can I help? Well, this is how. And as for when, you'll know. Keep watching.
But first, 500 days after the loss of a fine leader and a great man, the start of tonight's programme is dedicated to remembering and celebrating the life of Peter Clement. Patrick Bannon is live from Parliament Park, where Julia Salisbury will be breaking ground on what will soon be a memorial garden in Peter's honour. Patrick.
Listening to that old bitch lying through her teeth about missing that poor bastard.
Patrick.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
We're live.
Because I'm not being funny. Things were better with Peter, weren't they?
Patrick.
They were, and I don't mind saying it. They were, because he held her back. But now there's no stopping her.
Hello, Patrick. We're
Of
live.
course, can't say that, can I, Francis? No, not with public ownership. No, with public ownership, you can't say anything these days. Now, she's lost it, mate. She's completely off the rocker. I heard from an aide that... Hello, Megan. You join me here live from the what? Oh.
Lost some signal there for a moment. Well, we will be going live to that groundbreaking ceremony just as soon as we can get Patrick back. Meanwhile, let me just say, I think the memorial gardens are going to be gorgeous. I've had a sneak peek at the designs and Alana Marsh has done a fabulous job. Oh, okay, all right, it seems like we have got the signal back. We can now go live to Patrick Bannon in Parliament Park. Patrick.
Thank you, Megan. I'm Patrick Bannon. We are indeed live here. Apologies for the technical difficulties there, but any moment now, Julia Salisbury will step out on stage behind me.
Alex, Bozeman here. The boys in editing have just informed me that the eulogy footage isn't fully cut together yet. You're going to have to do it on the fly. For goodness sake, make sure you make it look good.
Slowly gathering since this afternoon.
This is Alan. You can undermine them here and help us win hearts and minds. Make him look bad, Alex. Really bad.
And it seems like the ceremony is getting underway. Here is Prime Minister Julia Salisbury, the picture of elegance, to begin her address.
Good evening, fellow teammates and friends. 500 days ago, all of our lives changed irrevocably. Still reeling from the triumphs and tribulations of Liberation Night, another great loss befell the people of these newly united territories. The loss of a leader, a statesman, a dear friend, and a hero. Peter Gordon Clement.
Peter's death at the age of just 62, of course, announced by the team on the 24th of December, just 6 weeks after Liberation Night.
Born to a working-class family on a housing estate in Rotherham, Peter first trained as a carpenter before getting his start on television, first moving and building scenery, and then developing into the personality that we all knew and loved so much.
Just the Job first hit our screens over 25 years ago, running for 11 series, winning multiple awards, and charming audiences up and down the country.
Peter taught us, all of us, not to be content with the way things are, not to accept inequities, no matter how small. But he also taught us what it took to fight them. Courage, integrity, empathy, and hard, bloody graft.
Across a career spanning 3 decades, Peter Clement was known for shows including Wake Up, It's Saturday, and much later, Late Night Chat show Petey, which at its peak drew millions.
Bisschen wie ein Arschloch aussehen lassen.
Peter was by no means a saint. Trust me, he once told me he had more regrets than he'd had stolen dinners. He always did have a knack for a turn of phrase. But it speaks to the strength of his character that he chose to share with us his mistakes alongside his achievements, his faults as well as his talents. Peter had the heart to give it all he had for the people of these united territories.
Famous for his potty mouth, it's estimated conservatively that Peter Clement uttered over 1.5 million swear words during his career, though some sources put this figure well in excess of 2 million F-bombs alone.
Gripped by illness as he was in the weeks and months leading up to Liberation Night, he wasn't the man we loved. But his eyes still twinkled with that familiar joy for life, that spark of wit and wisdom of a life lived for others.
Prime Minister Clement, of course, died from apparent liver failure after suffering from the long-term effects of alcohol abuse.
I first met Peter nearly 20 years ago, moments before I was supposed to give a speech. Not unlike this one, actually. Only I'd spilt coffee all down myself. And I was young, nervous, desperate to be liked. And from behind me, I heard, "Christ, Pet, you've either pissed your kecks or sprung a leak, but either way, you got a problem." And before I could even say a word, he'd stripped off his dry trousers and insisted I took them. That was the sort of man that Peter Clement was. Kind, compassionate, sensitive, a brilliant thinker, a natural leader, but mostly a good man.
Wie einfach die ganze Zeit nur Clips kommen, wie er ein Arschloch ist. Schon lustig auch.
This glorious nation of ours, so beautiful and new. This shining beacon of
Thank you, Alex.
equality and
There'll be another opportunity to steer public perception soon. It's really starting. You'll know when.
despite his accomplishments, the future he forged, the boundaries he pushed. To me, he'll always be the man in his pants cheering on a stranger at the back of the conference. It is my great honour to give to you the Peter Clement Memorial Garden. Shall we see if we can get a countdown going? Everyone with me? 10, 9, 8, 7.
Jesus.
Now, Alex, control the message.
We have to get you to safety. Come with us.
I'm not leaving, I can't. You two, come with me. Don't panic. Help us here. We're gonna help you. We need a medic here. You're hurting me.
Well, stop resisting then. Stop resisting and we'll let you up.
I'm not resisting. Ah! Fuck
What are you doing?
I'm not resisting. You all saw. Not resisting. Take brutality.
Turn the camera off. National Night News. We have the right to be here.
Understand?
I said turn the fucking camera off.
Look at me. Look.
Who the fuck are you?
Oh, I can't hear you. I can't hear anything.
Yes. Medics are coming. You sit down.
No, I can't hear you. I'm from the National Nightly News.
Well, then you can consider this payback. Salisbury's still here. Julia Salisbury!
Centipedes orchestra. Target approaching songbird.
Target armed.
Target armed.
Haven't you done enough? Look around you.
Fucking
This is
time.
what your precious freedom looks like, is it? On the fire! Oh, God, no.
Take to the streets, the time has come. Stop fires, break windows, draw them out. They can't stop us all. Resist, disrupt.
What the fuck indeed?
Lower your
Turn that off, please, sir. I said, please turn that off.
Is this not enough? You've just seen them execute unarmed civilians. People like you and me. So why are you watching this? Why are you not in the streets with us tonight? What will it take for you to get up and be a part of this? March on team headquarters. Storm the building. Demand elections. Demand answers. Be what you're born to be. The once and future free.
This. Does anyone know if everyone's safe? Are the crew okay?
All fine. The bomb was a good distance from the unit.
Thank you, Alex. From all of us, you're doing great.
No, it's different tonight. This is the big one.
Great.
Jesus.
There's a revolution happening outside and we're after dangly fucking hearts.
That's journalism, apparently. Can we get set for the next sequence?
Fucking Werbung vergessen. Nicht gemerkt, dass jetzt Werbungsblock ist. Aber Gott sei Dank habe ich noch A gedrückt. Ich wollte irgendwas drücken, aber die wollten ja, dass das zweite Tape an der zweiten Stelle läuft, also das Tape an der zweiten Stelle läuft. Von daher gerade noch so Glück gehabt. Auch wenn ich keinen super guten Score dafür jetzt gekriegt habe, aber da muss ich jetzt mit leben.
Oh, doorways.
No, thrones!
Thrones.
Thrones! We've got all sorts of crazy stuff to bling your experience. You want it in gold? We've got it in gold. We've got gold-plated strawberries, gold-plated gold-plated cars, gold-plated helicopter, gold-plated jet plane. We've got gold-plated gold. We gold-plated, we melt it back down, we gold-plated again. Gold! Gold! Gold!
Alex, during this next section, a cameraman working in the newsroom who's one of us is going to get a coded location out. We don't know yet which camera he's on, but if we find out, I'll let you know. Just keep your eyes out for the fist and try and keep it on the air for at least 5 seconds. Our operatives will do the rest.
Fist.
Mrs. Neal, come and take this away and
This is your new makeup artist, Craig.
No.
25 years in the biz, and it hasn't
10
been
seconds,
better.
everybody.
Calm down, because the missus needs new knackers.
Okay, we are going in
Oh, poor fucking Craig.
4,
Welcome back to the National Nightly News with me, Megan Wolf. Very shortly, we'll be heading on over to the final episode of what has quickly become a hugely successful feature, the notice board. But before we do, let's chat with Philippa Radin. Tell me, why do you think the public love the notice board so much?
It's real. There, I said it. It connects with people. You know, people look at us and they say, those are real people struggling with real problems.
That's a really interesting point.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying to my PA's secretary as I got out the limo, I was saying, it's good for people to see normal, authentic people like them on TV.
People like you.
Yeah, precisely.
Right.
Unfortunately, then I was interrupted by some dreadful wretch who wanted an autograph, but a swift kicking from security soon put him back in line.
Yes, well, I think it's really good that our screens are filled with such relatable stories. So, the notice board is coming to an end after a sensational time at the top. What do you think has made this show so successful?
It's a combination of so many things. My hard work, my talent, my look.
Wow, we really have a lot to thank you for.
Hey. You're welcome.
We've just heard our man's on camera for.
I have a real sense of responsibility now. You know, a sense I've been entrusted with something precious, and that
Get back to the interview, Alex.
Good.
Yeah, I think it's really important that we should use this platform to do good in the world. I agree.
That's exactly it.
Ist jetzt genug?
So I've decided to help as many.
Excellent work,
Okay.
Alex. That's the location shared. Next, you'll need to give them the go.
Is that better access to education, or reducing child poverty?
No, by adopting as many as I can get my hands on.
Oh, okay. How many children have you adopted?
Oh, we're well into the double figures now, Megan. I stopped counting in the late 30s.
Goodness, that is a lot of children.
Yeah, once we finish putting them into the guest room, I'll have to put a futon in the laundry cupboard.
Oh, you really are some sort of hero.
Hey, I live a privileged life. What can I say? I mean, any child I can take on is a child rescued from suffering.
Nicht so sicher.
Poor children. Were their lives really that bad before?
Oh, they're Northerns, I presume so.
Okay.
Yeah, it's shocking to think, actually, that only 1 in 10,000 children have a celebrity parent.
Das ist natürlich wirklich tragisch.
I'm doing everything I can to fix those numbers.
What do you think it is about your life that's so desirable, then?
Well, it's mainly shame and panic interspersed with expensive bottled water, so actually, if anyone wants to, I'd happily trade.
Now that I can relate to. Right, you better go off and get ready. That was Philippa Radin sharing some thoughts about her lifestyle. I think it's really important to stay grounded and keep everything in perspective. Clearly, not everyone else agrees, but that's enough for me. Let's go now over to Dangly Parts for the final ever episode of the notice board.
What a day! First the tea morning, and now to post this notice. I don't know how I managed to cope with it all. Oh wait, perhaps I do.
Wow.
Oh! By St. Barnabas, what on earth is all this?
Freeze, dirtbag!
Oh, Laura, it's you. I thought for a moment you were a knife-wielding mugger or stabber.
No, I'm afraid not. It's just me, a community cohesion officer, responsible for keeping crime at record lows.
Of course, you keep forgetting that thanks to you and your colleagues, violence on our streets is a thing of the past.
What's all this, Vicar?
I know, it's a disgrace. Somebody
It's time for the go code. Give us 3 boos in a row, Alex. That will start the pincer movement. You might just pull this off. Push forwards! 3 boos, Alex.
Careful, Vicar. It looks
Das waren jetzt 2 oder waren das schon 3?
They don't call me the Right Reverend. Ripped for no reason.
Oder was?
You missed it.
Was?
It's no good.
Was?
looks like all those
War das nicht Bu? Ist das hier Bu?
were a waste of time.
Oh ja, dann habe ich den falschen Knopf gedrückt. Cool. Okay, Ellen sagt yes, von daher alles gut, I guess, oder?
Looks like all those lifting classes were a waste of time.
It's too heavy, even for me, a strong and capable
Let's hope that's enough. At least you tried, Alex.
Fuck off.
enough to lift this.
Did someone call for the best firefighter in town? Hiya!
Well done, Captain Evans. You're so much stronger than us.
Especially me, the weak old man.
It's the least I could do for my community.
No luck catching the little devil then?
Unfortunately not. The ferrets struck again last night. When Ray opened the post office this morning, he found that every single stamp had been pre-licked.
My God!
Some people have no decency.
Sadly, if we don't catch him before tomorrow, we may have to cancel the village fete.
Don't worry, we won't let that happen. Will we, Vicar?
No, no, no. Laura, tell me, why do they call him the ferret?
Some say it's because of his sneaky nature, but really it's because whenever he strikes, he always leaves behind the foul stench of urine.
Never fear, officer. We'll catch this pissy nuisance and save the village fete. Or my name's not Captain Danger Evans. The community cohesion team are doing their best, but they simply don't have the smarts to solve this mystery. But I know someone who does. Someone who's about to blow this thing wide open. Me! Blackout!
It's the morning of the village fete, thanks to theatrical convention.
I sure hope everything goes to plan. Oh, look! There's Mrs. Craven setting up her cake stall.
And look, there's the motorcycle display team setting up for a show that will be far too expensive for live television.
I'm going to set up the coconut shy. What are you doing, Vicar?
First, I'm running the tombola. Then, I'll be selling forgiveness for money.
Aren't you judging the jams?
I couldn't possibly.
Well, that sounded like Mrs. Craven. Looks like someone sucked all the jam out of her donuts.
That damn ferret has struck again.
Whatever are we to do?
Although I'm very competent, I have no idea how to solve this case.
I guess we'll just have to cancel the fate.
Hold it right there, ferret.
Bisschen blöd, dass ich das mit dem Buhen verkackt habe, ehrlich gesagt. Das nervt mich ein bisschen.
Not you, the vicar.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Admit it. You wanted the village fete cancelled so you could have the day off, didn't you?
I already have to work Sundays. I shouldn't have to work 2 days a week.
But how did you know?
Well, my first clue was the smell.
Yes, I do smell of urine.
Next, I noticed that the vicar's tongue was particularly dry, almost as if he'd been licking thousands and thousands of stamps.
Or perhaps eating Mrs. Craven's baking.
Which brings me on to my third clue. The vicar said that he had no more room for jam.
Almost as if he'd had his fill.
Precisely.
But you managed to figure it all out from that?
Well, I also found this at the scene.
That proves nothing. No!
Get him out of here, officer!
You did it, Captain. You could say you ferreted him out.
What the fuck?
Hey, come on. Let's go and have a party in my massive garden. I am doing well.
Thanks to you, we're all doing well.
Jetzt kommt nochmal das Disrupt.
That was it, the final ever episode of the Notice Board, and what a way to end it. Thank you as always to Jeff, Philippa and Tommy. After the break, we'll be both dancing and learning, so don't change that channel. We'll be right back.
That's the ads. Well done, everybody.
Wow! What a brilliant run, eh? After party at my place, eh?
What advert is this, Alex? I don't remember passing it for broadcast. I think you made a mistake there.
I'm an economist and commentator. You've probably seen me on the news talking about Advance and how progressive their policies are. Well, I was wrong. And I'm here tonight to say I'm sorry.
One last push, Alex. We're closing in. One of the guests in the last section is working with us. You'll be asked to censor on our behalf. If you do it right, the final orders will be given. We'll get 3 chances. Get at least 2 of them right, and we're gonna win this thing. It's happening, Alex.
It's happening, Alex.
I always envied
Typo.
my friends who had so much more. Over the years, my jealousy grew. So when Advance came to power, I didn't think about the damage they would do. I acted selfishly. I was glad to see the rich punished. I didn't see how backwards Advance were. I didn't understand that rather than tearing down the wealth creators, we should have been helping everyone else to take a seat at their table. Under Advance, the country is poorer. It is poorer in ambition. It is poorer in aspiration. We are infantilized by Advance's naive policies. Policies born from absurd, redistributive fantasies.
Jenny just said to ask if you need any touch-up.
I have whored myself out to the media to defend the indefensible.
Is it? Yeah.
I have betrayed my parents. I see that now. Mum, Dad, I'm sorry. Our only hope,
Sorry about that, Sarah.
the only hope,
At all.
now lies with Disrupt.
What's
wrong with you?
She is in tears. Going in 5, 4.
Die ist ja nett.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Later in this segment, we're hoping to be able to go back to Patrick Bannon at the scene of tonight's shocking Disrupt attack. But first, I'm delighted to be joined by the cast of the smash hit musical everyone is talking about. I'll be speaking with the cast.
Geil, wieder Musikdings.
Let's take a look at them in action. Please give a warm National Nightly welcome to the Novaries.
Hello? Doctor? Yes, I see. Thank you for letting me know. I have a decent life. I'm a happy, loving wife. And my job is well paid and fulfilling. I have a husband, John. He's due home soon, won't be long. And I have to tell him something that is absolutely chilling. We share coffee in the morning, and we make love every day. We take time alone together to talk and laugh and play. We prioritize our needs. We do charitable deeds. But the flowers of a happy life are now beset by weeds.
I'm home.
Oh, darling John. Oh, dearest John. There's something very wrong. I've just had a conversation with our doctor, David Wong, so please be seated. This news will make you feel defeated. The scans revealed a lump.
Ja, gefühlt habe ich das auch gerade gespielt.
How can this be? Oh, woe is me. Why has this happened to me? I always went to condoms for the maximum of
safety. In our tiny flat, we built a peaceful habitat. Now our lives are fucked. We're having a baby. Now you can't have any wine at the club.
And there won't be any time for foot rubs.
Now your hair will stink of weed.
And you'll start to disagree.
And forget about that holiday in
Territory 3. No more waking up at 10:30. In fact, you're never going to get a good night's sleep again. No more snap decisions to go on to a club. You'll be lucky if you even make it out to the pub.
Why can't we be more like our gay and lesbian chums?
The only glue they have to deal with comes from personal bums.
Now when I take a sick day at home,
The parasite won't leave you alone.
how he's grown!
We're our top priority.
I look after you, and you look after me. Ain't no trouble and strife, we got a childless life. No one wails and no one walls. No one draws things on the walls.
A happy husband,
A wonderful wife,
we got a childless life.
We're having a baby.
we're having a baby. Changing nappies daily. We're having a
Baby.
No more weekends by the coast. Now your kid is uppermost. It's more than a passing craze to have childless days.
We're having a baby.
Food and drink thrown everywhere. Death trap toys at the top of the stairs. Every parent prays to have childless days.
We're having a baby.
No more stars and no more
We're having a baby.
18 years on bills and leaves. Time for a whole new phase. These
We're having a
childless
baby.
days. One more thing before the show begins. Have you considered that you might be having twins?
Amazing. The Novaries there, treating us to their opening number from Elegy for a Childless Life, which is currently the hottest ticket in the Capital Theatre District, and will be touring the territories later this year. Right then, come on you lot, come on down, let's go, don't be shy. Hello. Hi Megan. Hi. It's an honour to be here. Oh really, are you fans of the show? Yeah, it used to be. Well, listen, let's get stuck in. Your amazing musical. Now, I mean, not only do you perform this show every single night,
With matinees on Wednesday and Saturday.
right, but you're also the show's creators, am I right?
Well, everyone contributed their ideas, and then some of us went away and did the actual work on the script. But no, it's very much a team effort.
Oh, that's fantastic. How rude of me. I've not introduced any of you. I'll be the one being replaced next. Let's go down the line, shall we?
Hi, I'm Jack.
Jim Blunt. Pleasure to be here.
Jennifer Boreham Woodley.
Hello, I'm John Sapley. Used to be in the business professionally.
My name's Jill, with a J.
And I'm Janet. I'm the youngest.
That's incredible. And you were all friends previously. I mean, what a coincidence, right? with your names beginning with a J.
Oh my goodness, guys! Our names all begin with J.
How have we never noticed that?
Because you haven't typed them out 1,000 times, maybe?
You knew? Why didn't you say anything?
I thought we all knew. It's bloody obvious, isn't it? I just thought we were doing a funny thing where we never mentioned it.
And I believe as well as being friends, you're also couples, you know, in real life as well as in the show.
Well,
God,
not exactly.
no. I'm not married to him. I'm with Janet.
And I'm with John, you lucky bean.
Jim and I are married.
4 fabulous years.
Well, that must make for some confusion in the rehearsal room.
Well, you should have seen the first draft. Jen decided that Jack would play Jim, I would play Jack. Jen, Janet, Jill, Jen, Janet, Jill.
What about John?
Well, My character was originally just called Man 1.
It was allegorical.
It was very confusing.
Not for a professional.
After much toing and froing.
And gnashing and wailing.
And gin and tonic.
We decided that we'd just use our own names, which is less truthful.
We're also less likely to go into the wrong dressing rooms.
Oh god, yeah, that would be very embarrassing, wouldn't it?
Of course, when I first wrote it, we were only meant to run for a few nights at the Mimbley Village Hall, but when I registered it with the Department for Culture, it caught the eye of someone, and before you could say overnight sensation, we were transferring to the capital.
It's all been a bit of a roller coaster, really. I'm only 19. I'm the youngest.
You really don't have to repeat that.
I had to give up my job as a mortuary technician.
Well, yes, we all had to move to the capital.
I love that job.
It's been a very turbulent time.
So peaceful, no singing.
This piece isn't.
Stand by, Alex. Censor the orange.
It's about children and why you shouldn't have them.
In a way, I guess it is political, with a small p. After all, we are a solid unit, and eagle-eyed audience members will see we nod our heads to advance on stage throughout, and we target the messaging at women aged 22, well, about 35, as they're the most likely to be afflicted by this terrible problem.
Terrible problem.
Having children.
You understand, Megan.
You clearly agree.
This isn't about me.
Of course, we see that there are advantages to a family unit, but eagle-eyed couples watch as the little parasites advance on their lives, and there's no time to play the guitar, get through a book, or watch a movie. They're exhausted, passed out on the couch by 20 to 9, for God's sake.
We're very chatty tonight, dear.
Usually I'm the chatty one, because
you're the youngest, we know. It's not a badge of honour, Janet.
Janet, please, Jennifer. Oh, well said, John. Thanks, Janet. Got you back.
So could you just tell us what is the play about? What happens in it?
Well,
go ahead.
It's a tragedy, obviously. Jennifer, myself, and John have their child, and then the story charts the downfall of their hopes and dreams.
And there's lots of singing.
And dancing.
A lot.
My character works at a menu centre for a distribution unit. Eagle-eyed, she sees her friend's rapid advance to a pit of despair. Becoming a target for children's TV advertising at the age of 22, she decides to take drastic action. I can't really say more, though. I probably said too much already.
Yes. Let's not spoil the second act for anyone who might come to see it.
Which should be all of you. For too long, we've been told that a life without children is somehow incomplete, that children are a blessing.
Ist halt, also muss man halt nachher mal gucken, was dann am Ende rauskommt, ne?
They're not. Besides, there's already loads of bastards running around all over the place, so...
We just want people to
Wahrscheinlich so, kill me, everyone, me, at me, something, irgendeine Straße oder so.
I had an experience with a girl called Julia Jacobs.
Oh, die Karte, die Kamera bei 1.
You know, a chance to dip my toes into the...
Fascinating. Well, thank you all so much for coming in tonight. I really hope you keep them dancing in the aisles for many performances to come. The noble is there. And I am pleased to say we can now go back to Patrick Bannon to get the latest from the scene of tonight's horrific events. Patrick, are you okay? Thank you, Megan. This is Patrick Bannon reporting from the scene of tonight's devastating...
Warum tun die immer noch so, als wäre sie Patrick Bannon?
An attack which I myself have found myself caught up in. I'm still a little dazed and a little deaf, Megan. So I hope you'll forgive me if I seem that it's time to speak with the Prime Minister. Mrs. Salisbury, that's you. You're still here. The Prime Minister.
I couldn't leave, not when there were people that needed help. Any team player would have done the same. I don't deserve praise for being human.
Yes, no accolades here. Or Palisades. Or lemonade. Right. So, is the situation... Now, are we safe?
Yes, the security services performs their duties without hesitation, and I would like to assure the public that although there have been some injuries, there were no civilian deaths here this evening.
Oh, that's good news about the Sorry, did you say no deaths?
No civilian deaths. Just the 4 disrupt terrorists curtailed by law enforcement, who were, as always,
Fucking Explosion again.
If I may, I have a message for your viewers.
Of course, the camera. Speak there, on the camera there.
Stay at home tonight. Do not become another casualty of war. Disrupt have had their moment, but as the dear departed Peter Clements once famously said, it ends today.
Thank you, Prime Minister, for those strong words of strength. Back to the studio. Megan, now in the studio with Megan Wolf now.
Patrick Bannon there, bravely reporting from the front line of tonight's horrifying bombing. Maybe you need to get checked out, Patrick. Well, that brings us to the end of tonight's National Nightly News. But before we go,
Victory is in sight, my friends. You have mobilized. You have come together. From our agents at the television networks risking arrest and getting those words to you, to the many hundreds and thousands gathering to invade team headquarters. As I speak, we are turning the tide, and it is time for change. Tonight we topple their regime, and we also silence their mouthpiece. Channel 1. Time to wake up.
out from the shadows, and they are not the overwhelming force they would have you believe. The military have been actioned, and well, it's pretty scary out there tonight. So stay at home and stay with Channel 1, because the team has assured this program that the turbulence will soon.
Aber die wollen jetzt Channel 1 umbringen ungefähr und ich bin auch ein Channel 1 Mitarbeiter. Also, Jesus.
Let's make tomorrow better.
Damn it, Alex. Tonight is the beginning of the fall of advance. Fighter jet, 11 o'clock. Charges free, sir. Permission to detonate. Permission granted, old friend. We are going to detonate. Look out of your window, Alex. See what you helped make happen. She's coming down. Sir, up there.
I feel like jede Choice, die ich hatte, war scheiße. Ich habe das Gefühl, das funktioniert nicht so, wie Sie sich das vorstellen. Ja, gut. So, warte mal, jetzt ist ja... Warte mal, Disrupt Hack ist das ja nicht. Rushes? Was war denn jetzt das, wo ich das gesilenced habe? Das müsste ja Rushes sein. Oder? The Novaries? Ja, ich glaube, das müsste das sein. Weil dann können wir uns jetzt das mal angucken, was ich daraus gemacht habe durch das ganze Gesilenze. Weil das mich ja schon interessieren würde, was da nach dem Belieben noch übrig bleibt. Weil das ist, glaube ich, schon ein bisschen Fun dann irgendwie. Falls der Ladebalken Bock hat, bin mir noch nicht so sicher. Klassischer Trick, bewegt sich der Ladebalken? Nicht so wirklich, leider, kann das sein? Kann jetzt nicht so schwierig sein, diese Daten zu laden, leider. Ist jetzt uncool. Ja, ich glaube, das hätte ich jetzt auch mal versucht. Mal was anderes anklicken und dann The Novaries nochmal und dann auf Play. Wie es einfach bis dahin lädt und dann aufhört. What the fuck? Vor allem bis dahin lädt es voll schnell. Und also es ist jetzt auch nicht so, als ob mein CPU oder irgendwas tut oder so. Das hat einfach, oh Mann, oh, ich wollte es gerne sehen. Ich irgendwas anderes nehme? Ich glaube, das wird so oder so nix. Ich was vom Anfang nehme. Spot. Ich glaube, der hat gar keinen Bock mehr. Ja, es sieht sehr... Ah, doch, da. Jetzt macht er hier was. Das mal einmal zu Ende laden lassen.
Well, that's what it says.
Yes, I understand that, but I always say welcome back.
Ich guck mal nebenbei, ob meine Festplatte irgendwie großartig arbeitet. Nö, die chillt auch total rum. Schade. Passiert leider gar nichts. Na, lass mal keinen Moment warten, aber ich glaube nicht, dass hier irgendwie großartig was passiert, leider. Was auch immer er tut. It's not helping. Jetzt will ich halt mal Fenster aufmachen hier, wenn ich an meiner unfrischen Luft hier verrecke. Und in der Zwischenzeit mal gucken, was meine ganzen Benachrichtigungen, die ich die ganze Zeit kriege, von mir möchten. Oh, Grafikkarten, die man nicht kaufen kann. Who would have thought? Endlich unfrische Luft. Ja, allerdings. Ja, ich glaube, das breche ich jetzt ab. Das wird leider wohl nichts. Schade, hätte mich interessiert. An important review. Your wife would work a little early despite the start of your journey, and you still aren't quite sure of everything that happened, though. If the swarm CCOs over the buildings anything go by, but this isn't the Channel 1 matter. This is confirmed when you're informed you need to speak to Boseman immediately and are escorted to his office. What could possibly go wrong? A few minutes later, the bossman arrives, disheveled, kind of know whatever that means, and with a stern-looking CCO and tower, yes, Winston, good. This is Specialist Abels. She will be observing this interview. Please come inside and take a seat. The ruddy-faced man busts into his office and leaves the door open for you to follow him. The few times you've been in here before, it was immaculate, with everything in its proper place. Not so today. It must be serious for Bossman to be this flustered. So, Alex, do you know we're here today? Bossman's eye are sharp and his gaze is fixed on your face from across the desk. Abels is standing behind you, out of sight, but definitely not out of mind. No, really no. I wasn't involved with anything that happened yesterday. I assume to do with what happened with Disrupt yesterday. Ja, sagen wir mal das. What happened last night was nothing short of the culmination of a heinous and outrageous campaign of terror that Disrupt have been reaping on this nation and its territories. Bossman shoot a glance behind you to a left where a CCO observer standing, and it's of course our duty to root out this rot. Whenever we find it, to prevent anything like this last night happening ever again. I've been asked by advance to perform interviews with all staff members involved, and will be submitting a personal review of your performance, both during the incident in question and throughout your time here. Shoots you a quick smile, don't worry, it'll all be fine. Arranging some papers, Bossman clears his throat and begins. Obviously, a lot happened last night. I have a number of interviews to conduct today, so I'd rather none of them take any longer than necessary. Please be brief, concise, clear in your answers. So let's start at the beginning of the broadcast and work our way through. After the attack at the memorial, you seem to have portrayed the terrorists in quite a sympathetic light. Why? News? Yes, of course, and with everything in flux, you want to know what would happen next. I'm certain you did the best you could, Alex. You always do. Bossman scribbled some notes down, the noise of his pen scratching into the notepad, punctuated only by a constant tick-tock of his ornate clock. Reviewing the broadcast, we noticed something a little odd about a particular camera trace. It was where everyone else was talking. Oh, where did I put it? Ah, yes, here we are. Do you recognize this? With a flourish, Bossman produced the leaflet from the notice board and placed it on the desk in front of you. assumed this was just part of the set. Well, that makes sense. You're responsible for maintaining the set. Can only assume that what's there meant to be there after all. I get the feeling that at least some of the above was for the benefit of the CCO in the room. Thank you, Alex. And again, for Abel's benefit, you're so loyal. Towards the end of the show, there appeared to be some issue with the sensor equipment. At this point, Bozeman paused for a moment, putting a lid on his pen and placing a camera on the desk perpendicular to his notebook. How do you explain the fact that you censored perfectly acceptable language during the final assignment? There seemed to be an issue with the machine. I just do what the display tells me. I don't decide what's supposed to be censored. There seemed to be an issue with the machine. Frank probably forgot to do his checks again. Sagen wir letzteres. Suppose certainly possible machine could have malfunctioned. Much more likely than the malfunction of such a competent employee. We'll make sure to have maintenance look at it right away. With the price we paid, expect to last another 20 years, just like the last one. At this point, Bozeman took out a pair of glasses and placed them somewhat delicately on the end of his nose. Then the portly man leaned forward to examine his notes in detail. Now obviously we expect the odd bit of interference here and there unavoidable. However, interference is not the same as terroristic propaganda. Would you care to explain how quite so much of their messaging found its way into our airways? The machine's been out of date for years. Ja, Machine, einfach Machine blame. Well, it's certainly true that accidents happen, and with various stress of the last night's broadcast, I don't think anyone could begrudge a slight drop in attention. A loud creak breaks the growing silence as Bozeman leans back and stares at the tape of that poor Miss Birdman. Why did you play it? Help me understand why you played that tape. As you meet his gaze, you're almost surprised to see an earnest concern in the old man's eyes. I was worried what this drop might do if you didn't play it. It seemed like the news. Isn't that what we do? Show the news? I'm off Bluetooth. Well, at the end of the day, you choose to do it, Alex. I don't know if I had done the same in your shoes, but I think it's clear enough you thought it was the right thing to do. That's all we can ask of you. He clears his throat and leans forward again and smiles once again on his face. I believe that's all I have for you, anyhow. I think that's all the information we need for now. Winston Bozeman looks questioningly at the CCO, but by the time you've turned around, the moment has passed. Best you go home for now. There's no work for you until you get a new satellite tower up. But of course, don't leave town. I may have more questions for you following the other interviews. As you leave, you see open hostility in Specialist Abel's eye. Oh oh. So, wie viel Zeit vergeht? 200, 300, 304 Tage. It's anniversary, and this year you've got a plan. A week away could be just what the doctor ordered for you and Sam, but it won't be cheap. It's more than you'd normally spend, but Sam's worth every penny, spending not much. Nah, das machen wir. Sam still hasn't forgotten this missed anniversary, but you've not made that mistake again in 3 years since. Damn, Bozeman. With that trip booked, you even took the day off so you could get all out and cook a nice meal from scratch. Fancy. Even you and Chris seem to be on the same page for the first time in years. Many years. Jetzt ist wahrscheinlich Sam tot oder so eine Scheiße. Maybe it's been long enough for them to forgive you, or perhaps they've decided they were unfair to ask you, but either way, you're grateful for the newfound peace. They even helped you clean up the house today. When Sam gets back from work, it will be pristine. You hit the keys and lock and put the final touches in place. Sam, okay, sie lebt noch, hey. As Sam steps into the hallway, you're waiting in the doorway to the kitchen, dressed to the nines and acting as nonchalant as possible. Alex, what is all this? Oh my god, did you clean? And what's that smell? They give you a quick kiss as they step past you in the kitchen. Where the banquet is laid out, candlelit with Chris and Charlie standing quietly grinning. Oh my god, Alex, happy anniversary. Happy anniversary comes to chorus from your two cheaters. Sam turns to you, smiling with tears in her eyes. Alex, it's perfect. Sam rushes over and kisses you softly, only breaking off when you get a less than subtle cough from Charlie. So I got officially accepted into the Community Cohesion Management Program. And that's our cue. Come on, Charlie, time for us to go. Have fun, you two. You're welcome. No, I should go to get our own dinner. You can grill Charlie when he's back tomorrow, as in not tonight. See ya. With a wink, they finish ushering Charlie out of the house. Well, thank you, Sam says, taking a seat and grinning at you. So Charlie's been busy. They shake their head as you take your own seat opposed them. Tomorrow, for now, you really don't have all to do. You really didn't have to do all this, Alex. I love you too, they breathe, admiring the panoply of food you've prepared for them. Now where on earth do I begin? They laugh as you pour the first glass of champagne of the evening. You're very lucky to have such a wonderful family. And before... RIP. 2, 3, 4, 5... 550 Tage. Everything's ready. You and Sam have been trying to watch Bullet Man for years. But you missed it in the cinemas and it never seemed to be in stock when one of you went to pick up the VHS. Now you're just waiting for them to get home so you can start. You hear the front door open as you put a bowl of popcorn on a coffee table. Sam comes in with a vacant stare, ignoring both films and Snickers. They come sit down next to you. You have to actually nudge them to break their stopper. What is it? I've been just let go from work. Sam is just staring into space. Apparently there isn't any need for 2 nursery teachers anymore. Not enough children, so they can't justify the expense. No, you don't get it. There's just isn't demand for younger years teachers anymore. Not just here, anywhere. I don't know what I'm going to do. What we're going to do. You pull Sam into a hug. I guess you're right. Current health, worrying debt. Nice. We've come full circle. I just guess you're right. I just hate putting this burden on you. Sam puts back and looks at you, but it finds something. I promise we are a team. Nice. They laugh. God, I can't believe I just said that. Sound like a bloody advanced advert. You flick Bullet Man on, finally finishing the film of the years of build-up. It's a typical Hollywood blockbuster, not the best sold on its writing, but enjoyable nonetheless. Later that night, long after Sam's fallen asleep while cocooned in the duvet, you find yourself wide awake, thinking about money. This was supposed to be over already. What the fuck is happening in this game? The sterility. 3 years since the uprising.
Hello, Alex. Here we are again. I know things aren't as exciting as they used to be, but Advance's Bring Your Daughter to Work Day initiative should add a bit of spice to the mix. We make do, eh?
An emotional collapse after the birth of their unexpectedly large family.
Ja. Ingrid Price ist having the team. Okay, cool. Ja, es ist einfach... Es ist einfach nur noch Full Advanced Chilling hier.
It's time for Julia's diary, where the ever-popular Prime Minister reads extracts from her diary in front of a warm fire. Then at 10:30, it's the latest episode of our drama series, Betterment, which tells the inspirational story of Emily Dennisworth and the brave doctors and technicians struggling to help her shed her old habits and adjust to the new future. Strong language and themes of selfishness there, so not one for the kids. Incisors is at 11:15, and Dr. Adrian Atkinson Riley will be looking back on Liberation Day by talking to several eyewitnesses and asking, how did it all go so right? That's followed by the Territory Weather Report, Advanced Briefing, and pages from Terratext, now featuring up to 16 simultaneous colours. What a time to be alive.
Okay, we are going in 5,
But first,
4,
time to put on your thinking
3.
glasses as we go over to Megan and the team at the end.
Good evening and welcome to the NNN. I'm Megan Wolf.
NNN.
Who's this, you might be wondering? Well, it's Bring Your Daughter to Work Day here at Channel 1. So I'm joined tonight by my foster daughter, Stacey. Say hello, Stacey. Go fuck yourself. All right, here are the stories that matter to you. First up, with Advance confirming that the nuclear fallout from the 20-week war is to blame for the drop in birth rates across the territories, we asked you what keeps you going. I know that I, for one, was quite deflated when I heard about this, but reading all your submissions has really put the smile back on my face. This is from Sonia in Larkfordshire. I've had plenty of time to fill, so I've started a new hobby. Since I started knitting, I barely remember that 85% of the country is sterile. My record is this scarf. It's 124 metres long. Thank you for that. And if you've started a new hobby, do write in and tell us about it. Next up, you know how we love your uncanny comestible coincidences, and I don't know about you, but I think this one really takes the biscuit. I'm not sure what I'm more impressed by, Stacey. The things our viewers spot are the unbelievable way our menu centres are now able to feed every team member every single day. Greg from Proddington has sent us this lovely photo of their breakfast, saying, I couldn't bring myself to eat my toast this morning because I could swear it bore the spitting image of the great Julia Salisbury's relatable face. So I had to make do with a plate of butter and 2 spoonfuls of jam. Do keep those coming in. Come on, have a go. We've just got time for one more of your stories, and this one is an inspiring story of rehabilitation. That's it, just tell us who it's from, yeah, and then read it out. Okay.
So this one says it's from John in Stokely. Before I was convicted, I'd never read a single book, but since I was released from Betterman, I haven't been able to stop. I'm even working at a library, and on our lunch breaks, Mr. Wordyworth spell checks my tattoos.
We absolutely love hearing the way our neighbours and team members have been able to become better people. So do let us know your stories here. You can do this bit, Stacey.
No, you're right, thanks.
Come on, give it a try.
Let us know your stories here at the NNN.
Right, bit of a change of pace coming up here. You'll need to use the SFX buttons for the next segment, but advance have already selected when and what to use. Simple stuff. Just follow your government orders.
Ich relate sehr zu dieser Frau, die hat richtig Bock.
First up tonight on the NNN, it's time to celebrate this week's team lottery winners live from the Shakespeare Theatre right here in the capital. We're going to hand over to Julia Salisbury. I suppose you don't think much of her either, eh, Stacey?
She's got a lot more going for her than you wankers.
Okay, surprising vote of approval there from Stacey. Let's go live to that right now.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this week's Team Awards. Of all the many duties I have as team leader, this is by far the most pleasant. As I so often say to you, the uneven past is now, following the demise of Disrupt, firmly behind us. This is the new future, and I say to you, it's better now. I am delighted to be joined here tonight by one of the oldest people in Territory 1. He was born over 107 years ago. Please give a warm team welcome to Alfie Touchbadger. So, Alfie, you must have seen so much in your lifetime. What have been some of the highlights? Alfie? Is he all right?
His hearing aid isn't turned on.
Oh, could you turn it on?
He says it drains the battery.
Well, will you tell him that we'll buy him a brand new battery after the presentation?
Yeah, he says that's fine then. And I will help him with that, yeah.
If you would. Sorry, can't get the staff.
We got it.
So, Alfie.
What?
You're 107 years old.
Oh, don't bloody remind me.
Would you like to tell the audience what that's like?
Oh, where is everybody?
Out there, in the dark. Oh, bless him, it's not just the ears.
Who are you? 2 sugars, please.
I'm Julia Salisbury, the Prime Minister.
I love this story. Who are you really?
No, I really am the Prime Minister.
Oh, you're a
woman?
Yes, a woman. One of
Women
them.
can do anything men can do these days, Alfie.
Oh, can you piss standing up?
I can't say I've ever tried.
No, I didn't think so. 2 sugars, please, and not too much milk.
Shall we get to the awards, Alfie?
Oh, aren't you going to ask me about my life?
Well, I'm not sure we have enough time left now for that, so...
When I was 9, I wanted a pet, so I asked me mum and pap. There was no television then, back then, you know. We made our own entertainment out of coal and roadkill.
Well, that's fascinating.
So they got me a pet, see? But it weren't a dog. They told me it were a dog, but it were a stone.
A stone?
Yes. So I called it Patch, which was a popular name for a dog back then on account of the king having a patchy face. And I decided to introduce him to pretty little Gertie Thimble, who lived down the road.
Oh, how romantic.
She threw my dog in the river. That was the day I decided I'd never marry.
And that's the secret to your long life?
Oh no, I've been married 7 times, divorced 8. There was a mix-up with number 3, see? Yes, I'm just lucky. Are we going back to the home soon?
Soon, Alfie. First, let's turn to the reason we're all here, the weekly Territory 1 Team Awards. First up tonight is a lady who really knows how to put in the extra hours. She works at a transition centre in Hamble-Bamblebury.
Hamble-Bamblebury.
She allowed more families to unburden each other than any other nurse in Territory 1. In the uneven past, she'd have been locked up. Tonight, she is being honoured as a team player. Please welcome Daphne Snister.
Die hat ja genauso viel Bock ungefähr.
Just give her a medal, Alfie. There's a good boy.
Doctor, I mean, 2 sugars, please. And don't let it steep too long.
I think you're supposed to give me one of those.
Oh. Well,
There he goes. Look.
I can't get the arms up any higher than that. You'll have to go down,
Thank God those fractious times are behind us, and now the territories are thriving.
Are we in? As the actors said to the bishop.
Yes, thank you. I've got it from here.
Well done. Daphne Snister, everybody. Open your envelope and find out what you've won. Don't hold back there. She's tougher than one of Peter's homemade Eccles cakes.
Got it. I won a holiday for 2 in Territory 15. Used to be called San Palmerino, didn't it?
I believe it did, yes.
Why couldn't we have stuck with that then? It's easier to remember.
We're all one nation now.
Hang on a minute. Isn't it still on fire?
Daphne Snister, everyone.
Oh, what about my change? I've been in these white pants for 3 days now.
We'll get to that, Alfie.
Oh, right you are, love.
Next up tonight is a couple from Farnley who, after a rocky start losing their family's ill-gotten gains to the Assets and Wealth Act, have really embraced the new future, setting up a community farm and petting zoo in their local area for all the local children to play. Please welcome Otho and Lobelia Jackson Randy-Gannett.
You know, when I was in the trenches, I had a pal called Scotty Wilson. He was from way up north, so I didn't understand a bloody word he said. But he were my best mate.
Should we just grab them for ourselves?
Probably for the best.
And his best mate was Smudger A's. There was them two, Fiddly Eric Unstable Terry, and of course, Leggy Sydney. She were a girl, but she had a boy's name, so they shipped her to the front anyway. First girl any of us has ever seen, close up. She's dead now. They all are. Smudger and Scotty never made it home. Fiddly got shanked in Frankfurt prison in an argument over an olive. And Terry,
Was will er denn jetzt von mir?
quietly at home. Sydney got a fatal skin condition. Scratched herself to death. It makes you think.
Thanks, Alfie. Great contribution. So, Otho and Lobelia, a petting zoo.
After we lost all our wealth, we discovered there were actually people who had never even owned a pony.
I used to have 3.
So we decided to do something about it. That's the type of people we are, you see. Advantage of a private education, probably.
Well, I'm sure we could debate that all night, but there's no time. So, let's see what you've won.
Yes, before we do, there's something I wanted to say to you.
Oh, absolutely. Every citizen of the new future has my ear.
When advance came to power, you took all of our wealth. You took the shirts off of our backs.
Quite literally, in my case, I used to collect shirts.
Well, you might as well have the rest of it too.
Oh, security!
Oh God, not again. I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. Bennies and the news are not good bedfellows. Keep those flappy bits off my channel, Alex.
Much better. And you are? Oh, no.
Got to go.
Oh.
It isn't right and it isn't fair.
You tell him, girl. That's my wife, you know. Oh, no, you don't.
You can't mix pearls with swine. It isn't right. We used to have 3 horses. Fenton, Defessel, and Hungwell.
Hungwell.
2 mangy goats, 1 mongrel dog called Kenneth, and a rooster that would bloody shut up.
Can we get this over quickly with, please?
As the actress said to the bishop. Oh, here we go again. Hello, Alfie Tadge-Badger. Pleased to meet you.
Stop them!
Oh, don't worry, love. I'll protect you. Oh, 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 oh.
You better break know what he knows.
You know, this reminds me of when I was in my 20s and we go to the promenade at Shining-on-Sea and watch all the pretty girls on the beach. Everything was black and white then, of course. We'd visit the Penny Arcade and try to win a block of lard to take home to the family. You couldn't buy lard in those days. You had to win it. Oh, it was so much simpler back then. Boys were boys, girls were girls. Everyone else was recruited by the circuses. There were loads of them, you see, circuses. With their...
Also das ist ja jetzt ganz lustig und so. Aber storymäßig kann das jetzt hier auch mal so langsam zum Ende kommen, oder? Oder zumindest kann mal wieder was passieren. Weil jetzt so eine komplette Filler-Folge über eine halbe Stunde zieht sich ein bisschen.
This was before she lost her hearing after giving a particularly loud round of applause. Oh, did you ever go to the circus?
What's that, Alfie?
The circus. Oh, never mind. Yeah, just a tea, pet.
Well, that was an unexpected dose of naked nostalgia. Some people simply can't let go of the past. That's why I look in joy and fervent admiration at the younger generation. So cohesive, such a team. And with fertility falling throughout the territories, we should value our fabulous new generation now more than ever. Our final winner tonight is a go-getter who really went and got 'em, helping to root out more than 170 disrupt collaborators in his own neighborhood. Since then, he's gone on to be a senior cohesion cadet.
Na, kommt jetzt mein eigener Sohn.
Organized all of the entertainment at last year's camp cooperation. Our final winner tonight,
Charlie? Ah.
Oh, Alfie Tadge-Badger.
You should be in a transition centre, you old nonc. Prime Minister. Yeah, it's an absolute pleasure to finally meet you. We're very similar, in my opinion.
Well, I've never been much of a role model.
Nonsense, Prime Minister. You have saved this country. You have fought enemies, foreign and domestic, with an iron fist. as with my own tiny fists have I.
Well, let's open the envelope and find out what you won. Maybe it'll be a fist enlargement.
Aha.
A year's internship as a behaviour coach at Betterment. Let's show the fools where they went wrong, eh?
Well, actually, Betterment is about rehabilitation, Edwin.
Absolutely. And if they don't reintegrate, we retaliate. Just like you did on Liberation Night. Thank you for this award. And stay vigilant. Report the non-cohesives. Be a team player.
That concludes tonight's awards. Join me next week when, hopefully, things will be a lot more normal. Back to you, Megan.
Prime Minister Salisbury there at a highly eventful team awards ceremony. Any thoughts on this week's winners?
The nurse was fucking scary, the pretees were saggy, and that little prick will never lose his virginity.
Okay, well, succinctly put there.
Gute Runde.
After the break, we'll be going live to a star-studded premiere. You won't believe who's on the red carpet tonight. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. And we're out.
Oh, Alex, one other... What's that? You're off already? I know you had to take the day off work for Junior, but... Oh, I see. No luck still with Theodore. I'm so sorry, darling.
With a bleep button every time you do. Do you think we could try that?
I'll speak to you later. Oh, Alex, completely forgot what I was going to say. Blast it all. Still, I'm lucky to have her.
Spiraling out of control into some kind of tragic comic disaster.
Yeah, that. It's just like having him back in the chair.
Do you reckon he's watching us somewhere? Laughing. I think he is.
Jeremy, are you watching us?
Are you receiving us?
Are you fucking with us?
Oh, right. So she can swear.
Your neighbor. How well do you know the people down the
Hippity Bob.
So much better. So much better. You gotta go to Betterment. So much better. So much better.
They do know I have a Queen's View degree in journalism.
Bet you wish you'd studied something useful now, eh?
All this bring your daughter to work day. What a joke.
Where is our honoured guest?
I don't know, she's probably sniffing around that boy band. Hotspot.
Heat Rash. Hotspot won it last year.
Heat Rash. Oh, God, they're running out of names, aren't they?
I hear the computer comes up with them, the songs too. Ah, there she is, and just in time too. That's 10 seconds, everybody.
What have you been up to?
What's it to you?
And we are going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. Stacey's still here.
Wishing she wasn't.
Thank you. And in this segment, we're delighted to have sent Robin and Patrick to the movies. Yes, tonight is the world premiere of The Automated, starring Lawrence Blunderclatch and the late, great Helena Canterbury Boatshoe. And all the stars are out tonight. We first covered this film almost 5 years ago, back when it was called The Medicated. Then, for mysterious reasons, the film was suddenly pulled the night before its release. Well, since then, executive producer George Focus has spent 5 long years polishing the film and turning it into a special edition and premiering tonight. With extensive state-of-the-art visual effects and a top-quality voice team, George says it's the movie he always wanted to make. Now, let's take a look at it.
I can't deconstruct it. I can't deconstruct it.
Ist das der Typ von dem Anfang wieder, oder nicht?
You think I don't grow that?
No, Dick, I'll kill you. Think of Satin.
There's something on your face, Chief Harrison.
What? Was ist dieses?
Real, baby. Flesh and blood.
Captain Quasar.
But you're just ones and zeros, baby. If only I'd noticed.
Captain Quasar.
You rusted, but I didn't notice.
Captain.
I'm buffering, bitch, you said.
Got one on you.
God damn it, blast it off!
Here's a map.
What's a map?
Okay, so head north on Interstellar Avenue, left at the asteroid belt, and a tricky three-point turn at Uranus.
Uranus.
What are these symbols? This corner. This is the key.
We could shut it down.
Yes, we could shut it down.
But we have to ask ourselves, who are we?
Was ist dieser Trailer? Was ist all dieses?
Gosh, thrilling stuff. What did you think, Stacey?
The robots were alright, I guess.
They certainly were. Let's go over to Robin Short now in Western Square, who I believe has got the star of the show. Robin!
Well, Megan, I'm joined by not one, but both of the stars, Lawrence Blunderclatch and Helena Canterbury-Bochu. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. It's thanks to shows like yours that Eleanor and I are even here. Don't you agree?
Well, I couldn't.
Absolutely right, darling.
And you two have both become absolutely huge in the past couple of years, haven't you?
Even huger, yes, that's right. I feel very lucky, very, very lucky to be born, well, you know. And Helena is in massive demand too at the moment. She's still the face of a major cosmetics brand, and she's booked to do a one-woman Lear in the summer.
Wow, it sounds like you're both very busy. But is there any chance we'll get to see you together on screen again?
No, I'm really not supposed to mention this, but yes, we are doing a little something together.
No.
I'm playing a weathered starship captain from another galaxy, and Helena is my droid companion.
But how does that work?
I spend 7 hours in makeup now.
No, how does Helena play a droid?
Oh, we just pop her on a roller skate.
Wow! Well, Lawrence Blunderclatch and Helena Canterbury-Bochu, thank you so much for joining me. And we're going over to Patrick Bannon now. Patrick, will we be seeing you in a movie anytime soon?
Right. Thank you, Robin. Fingers crossed. I'm joined here by pop icon. It's Lil C.
Guck mal, es ist Tante Sie.
And her father, country singer and alien worshipper, Billy Bob Jean Short.
Howdy.
So, Lil C, what's with the bag?
She knows what she's done.
Well, we love this look. Is it one of yours?
No, you know it's not. We don't do that anymore.
Yes, of course. Your clothing label went bankrupt, didn't it?
Yes, because a certain TV show failed to fulfill their contractual obligations.
Well, you look great.
Well, that's probably due to her new cosmetics and wellness brand.
Well, I'm not sure that it is.
Let her show you. This is our new eyeshadow palette. She calls this one Glands.
Wow, it's scented. Wow, that was a surprise.
And this next one, this is our new lipstick. We call this shade Lips.
Oh, wow. Why is it so salty?
It's organic. And this, our next one, this body spray, this is a body mist which rebalances your hormones and actually smells like fertility.
Oh, right, yeah. Wow.
You feel that?
Yeah, that burns.
All this is part of Lil C's new range, straight from my veins.
Oh, good lord.
Breeze Craglar!
So, you're retiring from the music industry. That must be hard.
Well, she's way past her prime, Patrick. It was very hard for her to accept at first, but the industry's very, very sure about these things.
Well, you sure we can't convince you to release just one last album?
We do actually have another album ready, but that's for the label to release in case she dies over the next 10 years or so.
Oh, really?
Well, given the way she's going, you might get it by Christmas.
Ja, deswegen, also das ist halt, ist jetzt halt gerade stinklangweilig. Ich würde gern fertig werden damit.
She's also available for
funerals and bar mitzvahs.
Well, thank you. We'll see.
Mein Plan war, dass ich hier jetzt irgendwie eine Stunde vielleicht sitze und dann sind wir durch. Weil bei How Long to Beat stand halt auch, dass... Bei How Long to Beat stand halt auch, dass die Leute irgendwie so 5 Stunden im Durchschnitt brauchen, 5,5 Stunden oder so. Und dann bin ich halt schon längst mit durch dann, theoretisch. Und das stand dann so, ja, wenn man rusht, dann ist man sogar noch schneller durch, aber ich weiß nicht, wie man dieses Spiel hier rushen will, weil das geht nun wirklich nicht.
Oh no.
You can't break me when you didn't make me, you understand? See, I'm the voice, I'm the hope. You can lock me up, call the doctors, but only the moon can judge me.
So, what have you been up to since your team cut ties with you?
You know, keep building, keep moving. I'm actually working on a track right now. Written, recorded, directed, all by myself.
Can we hear a bit of it?
What now?
I know I'd love to hear it, and I'm sure the people at home would love to as well.
Yeah, sure, of course. Give me the mic. Yo. The news tried to shut my mouth, but it won't be long until they go south. Cause my name's Big J and you can't stop me. See, no censorship can stop me. Yeah, see, that's all I've got at the moment.
Did you just rhyme me with me?
No! Daddy promised this wouldn't happen again. You're supposed to clap and say, well done, Julian, well done.
Well done, Julian.
Thank you. Now.
Fuck.
Ask me a polite question and I'll walk away nicely.
Is it true that you're heir to a hotel chain?
What? Where did you hear that?
And that you're very much alive parents
La, la, la,
currently
la,
on the
la,
road
la, la,
with
la,
massive
la, la,
financial
la, la,
hoarding.
la.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you trying to censor me? Oh, Jay's us there, who really does seem to be going from strength to something. There are just so many stars here tonight, Megan. It really is the who's who of whatever here. I'm going to see if I can grab a moment with someone rather special. I hope you're not too jealous, Megan. Back to you.
Thanks, Robin. But I think Stacey and I are probably in quite enough trouble where we are. So, 3 big names there, Stacey.
Yeah, big names.
Any thoughts about them, maybe from your generation's perspective?
You won't like my opinions.
Oh, go on, try me.
Well, Bumbanonk is so old he's like 1 week away from a transition centre, so who cares? And Lil C was cool when I was like 12 or something, but now she's just another fucking loony. And Jesus is a disrupt-loving wanker who should have died with the rest of them 3 years ago.
You're right.
You agree with me?
No, you're right, I don't like your opinions. But thankfully, we can go back to Patrick now, who has another familiar face to catch up with. Oh, Patrick, what's the atmosphere like there?
It's absolutely electric, Megan. I can't quite believe it either, but he's here. It's Crazy Neil.
Hey, man, dude.
How you doing?
Neil, our audiences just love you. They've really, really connected with your ads over the years. What's it like suddenly being so popular?
It's crazy. People stop me in the streets, they expose themselves, they write me threatening letters. You know, the stalker has become the stalkee. A real taste of Neil's own medicine, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, and what's been the most challenging thing about being so famous?
It's places like this. You know, being around actors and rock stars. They're real crazy. And Crazy Neil knows crazy. And I'm used to being the loudest whack job in the room. Hey.
Yes, I can imagine.
But I know what you're thinking. Hey, Neil, where's the crazy deal? We got crazy deals on chairs. You ever sit in a chair that knock your socks off?
No, I can't say that I have.
Makes a mess of the carpet. But what do you say? We got a deal?
Well,
what about Betty Andrews' handbag? It's real leather. It's real cheap. And it even contains our heart medicine. Spicy.
No, really.
You've got the chair. You've got the bag. You're really busting my balls. What can I do to convince you? Let me throw in my wife, Mrs. Neil. It's the latest model. Not a scratch on her. Pearls like a charm. What do you say? Have we got a deal?
Look, I can't take your wife.
Yes, you can. I got loads of them. Come on down to crazy deals. We got crazy deals on chairs. We got crazy deals on meals. We got crazy deals on wheels.
What the fuck is happening, Alter?
We've even got endangered seals. And we got meals with endangered seals. Yeah!
Thank you, Neil. Oh, it's always a dream come true to me to hear it. How about
Eminem.
that, Megan? The man himself. Aren't we lucky? Back to you.
Thanks, Patrick. What a colourful interview there on what looks like an amazing night. They certainly know how to make an entrance, I hope. And the automated really does seem to have unstoppable written all over it, because despite Boris Hawsey in Hours magazine calling it Lawrence Blunderclatch's overly long suicide note, in a review which ends with the words, and he hasn't even had the decency to see it through, the film, which is free to all residents of the territories, has seen record pre-bookings and looks set to run for months and months. But let's go back to those lucky few seeing it tonight. Oh, I'm so jealous. Robin, you seen anything unusual there?
Thanks, Megan. Well, will you settle for the territory's most eligible bachelor? 5 years ago, Steve Saxon was an unknown. Then a series of incredible performances in acclaimed productions from Hamlet's Jam to the curious rise of Algernon Ding Dong made him the most wanted man in drama. He's been voted sexy
Dieses Segment ist viel zu lang.
successive years. Now, let's see if he'll talk to the NNN. Excuse me, Mr. Saxon. Steve, have you got a moment to spare to talk to the NNN?
Oh, hi, the NNN. You know, your show gave me my first chance at an audience. The raw me, Steve 1.0.
I remember. Even then, everyone could see there was something so special about you. The whole thing is burned into my mind.
A moment is the very least I can give your amazing viewers in return.
Not that we're actually going anywhere, is she?
Are you going to introduce us to your date?
But of course, this
I'm
is...
Charlotte Winstanley Hamilton. I was in Hey Friendship too. You know, that scene you burned into your mind. I was in that.
No. Sorry. Don't remember you at all. Are you sure you were in that?
Yes, I was the pretty one. Tell her, Steve.
Looks are really important.
Well, if you say so, Steve. So, it's been a big year for you. I believe you've been tackling the Bard.
Yeah, so I've been working with an enfant terrible called Quentin Sucker Punch. We've been doing all the Shakespeares.
Crikey, all of them?
Yeah, so we shoot one a week. I play all the parts, so I learn them at the weekend and then we shoot them naked in his steam room. The lighting in there is really good.
Sorry, did you say naked?
Yes, well, he is. I'm in a variety of hats. It's an old theatrical tradition.
I had a single out. It was called Look at Me.
And you did that advert, didn't you?
Is that your dental floss?
And the sex tape, of course.
Steve! I don't like to talk about that. Although apparently it's available for $11.99 everywhere. Just ask your newsagent.
So, what is your favourite Shakespeare play then, Steve?
Ooh, I like the wordy one.
Please make it end.
The trailers, and we haven't even got any popcorn yet.
She'll be here.
Oh, I'm sorry I'm late, guys. What took you so long? There was an injured pigeon. I'll explain on the way in.
Now, of course, I remember you from that legendary first appearance.
Really? Her too?
You were such a serious little thing. You had that horrible sister.
Yes, that was me. I'm the horrible sister.
Ja, ich kann es gleich mal versuchen.
Babe. Looks are really important.
Thanks, Steve.
So, what have you been up to, Harriet?
Actually, last year I was...
Du meinst das mit den ausgebliebenen Wörtern, oder was?
...outside the territories. They may not have food, but they can still have Canada.
Good for you.
And now I'm in an experimental physical theatre piece about the existential angst of Wicker.
Amazing. So, arts.
We do it above a pub on Thursdays.
I was also the girl who got murdered in the bath in Night Slasher 3.
Haven't seen it.
But she was brilliant.
Thanks, Steve.
Fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Thanks, Steve.
I think it's starting soon and I really need a tinkle.
Oh my god, you need the loo now.
We're going to completely miss the trailers. You were so selfish.
Sorry.
We've got to go.
Oh, of course. Thank you so much for talking with us and enjoy the movie.
Thanks. Love the NNN.
I love you guys. Stop showing off. Sorry.
Oh my God, Megan, I can't believe that. Steve Saxon Harrison, Harriet Winstanley-Hamilton, and someone else, can't remember her name for the life of me. I'm too starstruck, if I'm honest. I think I've just come. Back to you, Megan.
Thanks, Robin. Lucky you, and enjoy the movie. The Automated opens in cinemas across the territory.
Yep. Coming, may epoch, coming poch.
Who cares? No one goes to the cinema these days.
Of course. We'll be back after these messages. I still go to the cinema.
You should get yourself a video recorder, like the one at the home.
Yeah, I've got a video recorder. It's just not the same, is it?
You're right, it's better. No unevens chatting and chewing all the way through.
Oh, what about a kiss and cuddle on the back row? Doesn't that happen anymore?
In public? What's wrong with you?
Nothing. Nothing's wrong with me.
Feeling better? Right, you are. We've got to get set up for heat rash. I think Ronnie's on something.
I know he is. It was on his rider. Apparently it's medicinal.
Ronnie's always high. Give him orange juice.
My God, she speaks.
He's a stupid cunt.
And just like that, you wish she wouldn't. We seem to be a bit bunched up at end.
Oh, don't worry. It's Soko.
It's what now?
It's...
Oh, here's Megan. She's going to be interviewing you.
Hello. Hi.
This is her... this is Stacey.
Well, hello there, Stacey.
Fuck off, Ronnie.
Right. No, I'm sorry, but if we can't be polite, you're going to have to wait in the dressing room.
Whatever.
Do you want to go and wait in the dressing room? Hmm?
No.
No what?
No. Thank you.
Okay. And sit up straight. You're ruining my shot.
That's 10 seconds, everybody.
No co.
Fucking right, Noko.
What's that? What's no?
Bring in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. For our final segment tonight, Stacey and I are delighted to be joined by Heat Rash. Their new album, Girls and Why We Love Them All, comes out this weekend. So, let me see if I can get this right. It's Nolan.
I write the songs.
Ronnie.
That's what it says on my tattoo.
Oh, you've got a tattoo of your name on yourself. Okay.
In case he forgets it.
This raconteur, you must be Chinny.
Stop.
Why do they call you Chinny?
It's because of this ugly old thing.
I don't know what you mean.
God, you're so fucking embarrassing.
And Dale. Crikey, Dale, you do not look old enough to be in a band.
I get that a lot. I'm actually 23, the oldest one. I have a growth disorder.
God, I'm so sorry. I
So creepy.
He's only messing with me.
He's actually 58.
Okay, right, I see. You're going to be a handful, aren't you, boys?
Mum.
And you must be TP. What does TP stand for?
Tiny prick.
It stands for team player.
I see. How long have you had that nickname?
Ever since Nolan decided Terry Prodance was a shit name for a member of a boy band.
No co, Ronnie. Yeah, no co, Ronnie.
Sorry, what does no-co mean?
It's the opposite of Soko.
Fuck's sake. Soko.
Yeah.
So cohesive. You pretees say cool.
Right, okay. Thank you, Stacey.
Sorry about her.
Not your fault. She's uneven.
Jesus Christ.
On our rival channels, didn't you?
Yeah, team players with a Z.
So how did that work then?
Well, actually, Dale and I knew each other from school. We were actually classmates. And
Fuck's sake, Nolan, mate. Give someone else a chance. We all went on team players. We all auditioned. The judges put us into bands. And, yeah, we went to their houses and they just put us into bands.
Okay.
it's an example of how we're greater than the sum of our parts when we work in harmony.
And occasionally singing it.
So every week on the show, they get these bands and they give them a song that the producer just found from under the bin somewhere.
Actually, I write the songs.
And the public would phone in and decide which song they like best.
Right, and then the losers would be eliminated. Yeah?
Mum.
What?
No-co. Pretty. So no-co. The band who get the most approval get to play their song again.
Sure. So what happens to the losers then?
Mum.
What do I keep doing wrong?
We don't use the L word anymore.
What, you mean losers?
Would you please stop saying that?
That word is a pejorative.
It's a word designed to diminish. At Go-Getters, I learned very early that we only win when everybody wins.
But, sorry, that's not real life, is it? That's just sports board, no?
Thought you were Soko.
Yeah, I am Soko.
Nah, you're a shrinker. Can't be friends with shrinkers.
She doesn't know what you're talking about. She doesn't understand.
So I do understand, actually, Stacey.
What's a shrinker?
Well, a shrinker.
What's
is...
a pre-T, Mum?
Well, I think it means someone who's older, doesn't it?
Pre-territories. It's someone who turned 18 before the new future. We call you preties.
Uneven.
Mimis. Nonks.
It's not her fault she's old. She can't help it.
I'm not that old.
I'm trying to help you here.
I don't think I need your help.
See? Total Mimi.
Is that so?
Ist das irgendwie, soll das jetzt Hommage an die aktuelle Zeit sein, oder?
You know what the real problem with you lot is? You just can't get over the fact that your beloved disrupts
Ja, wegen so
are gone and you just
alle inclusive, also inclusive ist jetzt das falsche Wort, aber so alles krasse Wörter der Jugend, den kein Mensch mehr versteht, und Zoomer, Millennial, genau, und halt irgendwie so dieses alle sind Gewinner, es gibt keine Verlierer mehr, bla, so nach dem Motto, diese ganze...
We've all learned maybe a little bit more than we expected to there. I'm genuinely delighted to have met Heat Rash. And before we end the show tonight, I think you're going to sing for us, aren't you?
Yes, that's right. We're going to sing a song from Girls and Why We Love Them All called...
Ja, guck ich lieber LGBTQ.
Relationship I have with an actual girl.
Oh, Nolan, give it a rest, mate. No one cares. Go on, let's get on these stools, lads.
Right.
So, Stacey, can I get your contact?
Oh, she's 15. Go on, piss off and sing your song, Terry. Christ.
Right you are.
So, here they are with their latest single, Pieces of My Heart.
Pieces of My Heart. Ist das jetzt so eine NSYNC Backstreet Boys Nummer? Jesus Christ.
I know I meant to mention this earlier. Apparently these newfangled boy bands change singer all the bloody time. Try and follow along, eh? Keep the shot on whoever is currently singing the lead vocal.
I saw you standing by the menu center with a brand new pair of Lakers, baby. Do you remember? You took the first of the pieces of my heart. You wandered into a bush and grabbed a vodka and stank. Took our assets and our wealth and drew them out of the bag. I gave you little pieces of my heart. I didn't know two hearts could ever feel like this, girl. It's like you were custom made for me by Remington Smith.
Jesus Christ.
As my bride, you snatch me inside. There's no need to hide all the times that you cry. As my old man used to say, you blow me away. I just want you to stay. I don't want you to pay. You make me crazier than Neil today. Night, girl, I was sitting beside you. We sat there shaking all the way through incisors. We held each other as things fell apart. We took a train through all the territory.
I can't blame you, wenn du das nicht mehr gucken willst. Jesus Christ. Ich werde es auch schon seit einer halben Stunde nicht mehr gucken. Aber kann jetzt hier nicht bei 90% aufhören, hoffentlich. Jesus. Whatever dann. Ganz ehrlich, keine Ahnung. Wie gesagt, ich habe mich eigentlich nur daran orientiert, was bei How Long to Beat stand. Und wenn es danach geht, dann hätte ich schon lange fertig sein müssen. Ja, gut. Aber die werden doch hoffentlich nicht irgendwie Unterschiede sein von... Also normalerweise wird da halt aufgelistet nach Main Story und halt nach Completionist und so weiter und so fort. Sprich, Completionist würde ich jetzt erwarten, jemand, der alle Endings durchspielt und Co. Und Main Story ist eigentlich nur so der normale Strang. Und bei einem Spiel, was 12.000 Enden hat, würde ich halt erwarten, dass ein durchschnittliches Ende halt ein Strang ist. Und nicht irgendwie das Ende, wo man, keine Ahnung, nach Tag 365 an Malnourishment gestorben ist.
Time for final thoughts tonight. And I've actually asked Stacey to write a few, and they're just being programmed onto the auto cue now. Now I have no idea what she's going to say. So, fingers on that bleep button in the broadcast room, just in case. Take it away, Stacey.
My name is Stacey. I guess you know that by now. Don't know why I put that in there. Anyway. I don't watch the news. There's no need. You hear all the important stuff from your mates, so I don't know what's considered important anymore. But I'm pretty sure that it's not rehashed movies and fucking boy bands, so... Anyway. I'm going to talk about what's important to me. When Advance were first elected, 6 years ago, I was 9, and in a home. Not a family home, like you call a home. This was a state children's home. It was fucking awful, actually. It was like a Charles Dickens book. The roof leaked and the walls were damp some mornings. The food was bad. Drugs and alcohol were everywhere. No one cared. You had to watch your back all the time because there weren't enough staff to manage us. And yes, as you'd imagine, there was a lot of... Some bad stuff went down there with some of the staff, okay? Not all of them, but the others knew, and they didn't stop it. And then Advance won the election. And like a miracle, things started to change. They got better. We had nicer food. The home was not just repaired, but redecorated and kitted out with books and sports stuff and musical instruments and video games. Most of the staff were fired, and the new ones, which there were more of, spent time talking and working with the bullies. And you know what? A second miracle. It worked. The bullying stopped. My life, got better. Because finally, there was enough money to do the good things, and Advance had the guts to do it. I joined Go-Getters, and on Liberation Night, that gave me a group of friends that I could talk with when the bombs went off and the power went out. Another miracle. I wasn't alone anymore. And that was the night I finally understood the importance of being in a team. So here's my final thought. I know the people who were doing better under the old system long to go back. You say, we were freer, But what you mean is, we were richer. But for every one of you, there is 100 of me. And even now, after all you've had taken away, you are still doing better than I am, than I likely ever will. You still have homes of your own and families of your own who love you. And I'll never have that. So maybe you should stop looking for the worst interpretation of everything this amazing government does and realise it's not for you. It's for the millions like me. And you can cry and bleat all you want, but you're never going to get your money back because it's already been spent on miracles.
Ja, bin ich sowas von dabei.
Making tomorrow better.
And we're out.
Is that all right?
Yes, yes, that was more than all right.
Nicely done. I think you might have actually given them something to think about.
So I guess you're going to be taking me back to the home now then?
I was thinking we could go out somewhere and, I don't know, have a meal, talk about our options, if that's okay.
Of course, Miss Wolf. Security will be standing by.
Thank you. So they're always there then?
There was a thing a few years ago now.
Oh, with that Jeremy bloke? I heard about that, everyone did. Were you here back then? Doesn't look old enough.
She's growing on me.
Yeah, she does that.
Hä? Ach fuck, jetzt habe ich nicht das Video angeklickt. Ja, vor allem jetzt konnte ich kurz diesen Disrupt-Clip wieder reinspielen, aber ich hatte ja kein Tape von denen, deswegen ging es jetzt halt einfach normal weiter. Dieser ganze Part war völlig überflüssig. Also, you once again find yourself sitting inside Boseman's office. Everything is pristine, orderly, just how the festival likes it. It's rare for him to be late. The door opens behind you. Yada. It's been almost 6 years since you started working with us. A lot has happened from the unfortunate incident. He pauses. Well, you've done some pretty good work in that time. I just want to say keep it up. But also that you need to work a bit harder if you want to go anywhere in Gen 1, Alex. I think I worked plenty hard already. Well, I'm boss, Alex. I'm telling you that you're not affecting what the progress here. But that's up to you. Best to get back to work. Cool. Ja, ist wieder Weihnachten. It's late, it's been snowing all day, and like everybody else, you stayed inside much as possible. Normally you enjoy the snow, but today it's nothing more than an irritant. Some always get excited when they see snow. Sam? Achso. When they were younger, they'd always wrap the kids up and take them out to play. It's been a while since this happened. The sound of the front door opening startles you out of their handbags some cones before coming to find you in the living room. Oh, the fire's going, it's lovely and cozy in here. They come and sit by you, leaning your head on your shoulder. Sometimes, oh, you know, the usual, spent the morning volunteering at the menu center, making myself useful. I'd pick up the position while unemployed and kept it going. Then in the afternoon I went to see some friends. From the old job, they were thinking of moving in, so we're looking at new places. What about you? Well, tomorrow let's make a day of it. Go for a walk. Maybe I'll even drag you up to the top of the hill with a sled. You can race like the old days. I don't know, we're getting a bit old. You start to object, but Sam cuts you off. Oh, you're only seeing that because you know I win. They give you a wink and a kiss before getting up and going to the kitchen, calling back over their shoulder. Loser pays for the cocoa. Ich habe immer noch nicht verstanden, warum das da mit they und them formuliert ist. To be honest. It's been over 13 years since your dad died. You visited his grave a few times since then, normally during times of stress or when you're trying to figure something out or when you just want some peace and quiet. You feel Sam's hand on your shoulder giving you a reassuring squeeze. You're grateful that you're still here with you. Just having them by your side always seems to make things easier. Charlie was only 8 when his grandfather died. He didn't really appreciate how big the loss was at the time, but as he got older you did your best to pass on what your dad told you. Now he's all grown up, he's actually starting to teach you, which is strange, but in the nicest way. Susie, poor Susie. But you wouldn't give her to have her back even just to argue with you. She wanted to explore the world, so curious, so full of life. Until Liberation Night, everything changed then. Your relationship with Chris... Ist jetzt alles... Was? Ist das jetzt Ende und alle sind tot, oder was? Was? Wer ist ach, der andere Chris. Charlie ist mein Sohn, lol. She may be in our bad expensive care home now, but it's still comfortable to know mother's around. Even if she barely recognizes you anymore, the presence is always reassuring. Bla. Jo. Jesus. Jetzt nicht langsam was passiert, mache ich gleich aus. Fuck this. Sorry, aber wie lange kann man sowas ziehen? Ja, fuck you. Oh, hey. Pog.
Right. Let's try and get through this last one, Alex. For old time's sake. I know Advance have allowed your equipment to fall into disrepair. It's all gone wrong since they took over. Not that the alternative was any better. Those dangerous bloody psychopaths to disrupt. Still, the show must go on. One more time at least. Quick point before you start. We're still having a few problems with the machinery. Locking buttons, screens flickering on and off, sparks and the like. I'm sure you'll manage without issue. Oh, and don't forget, you've got free reign of the SFX buttons these days. Make the most of it.
I'm sorry, no.
Okay, no worries.
How old are you then, Cole?
Okay, here we go. Big smiles.
I've actually gained a year. I celebrated 44 last year, but it's actually this year. Brilliant.
You're 44.
I'm going in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening and welcome.
Spice it up with some audience responses, Alex.
I'm Megan and I'm joined as always by the inimitable Robin and Patrick. How are we?
Well, we have got so much going on tonight. I'm excited. I'd say I'm about a 12, Megan.
On the excitement scale?
Yeah, exactly. We have got so much SoCo stuff coming up. We sure do. We have celebrity chef Jordan Rankley, who will be cooking up a storm. We'll be announcing the winners of our big competition, Visions of the Future.
And we'll be joined by a very special guest for a game of Wheel of Truth. And I'll even be showing you how to make your own Leaders' Day gifts. We've got all of that and so much more tonight on The Nightly Show.
Coming to you live from the gym. Coming to you live. The fight is not over. We have grieved our loss.
Der lebt noch? Wie lebt er noch?
We have lived with death and we no longer fear it. There is no price too great for liberty. I can be silenced, but your thoughts cannot. And each day, just like before, we gain hearts and minds. Because the truth is like that. Irresistible. We're back. And we're only getting started.
Right, let's have some applause on the way into the next section.
I know you love them, so Robin's going to give us an update on our lovely Nightly Show pets in Pet Corner.
Fine, suit yourself.
Well, Megan, first up we have our hamster, Lord Cheeks. Now, he's a squat winter grey with the scientific name Adipem stultus, and he lives here with us in this cage. Hamsters love hoarding, and they actually have special pouches in their cheeks for storing food. He loves carrots, apples, and chewing tobacco. Now, hamsters are nocturnal, so we'll do our best not to wake him up. But let's just see if we can
Well, the door has been left open. It looks as though Lord Chinks has actually gone for a little wander. But I'm sure he will be around here somewhere. In the meantime, let's say hello to our tortoise. Now, after last month's viewer vote, she is now, of course, called Slow Barbara. And don't panic, even though it is December, Babs here doesn't actually hibernate. Let's say hello. Oh, she's sleeping. Oh, Babs. Oh. Those are our nightly show pets, Megan, both alive and well. Back to you.
SFX, less is more, Alex.
Or some very similar animals at the same time tomorrow. Now then, I hope you're hungry, because if not, you're about to be. Patrick Bannon is with Chef Jordan Rankley, and they're going to be showing us how to make a delicious apple pie. It's time to go into the kitchen.
Don't forget the SFX buttons.
That's right, and I'm joined here by Chef Jordan Rankley. Welcome to the Nightly Show kitchen. How does it compare to the kitchens you're used to?
I love the colours. It's vibrant. It's fresh. It's saying about all the arseholes. Yes?
Sorry?
What?
So, you own 6 restaurants. You've been awarded 9 Ballon Massifs across your career, and you've worked alongside the best chefs in the world. Tonight you've got me. Oh, are you worried?
Am I fucking worried? Are you worried? Are you fucking worried?
Yes. So, what are we making today, Chef?
So, we've got a family over for Leaders' Day. Yep. They're hungry. We're going to make them a delicious apple pie.
Ooh, lovely.
It's got sweetness. It's got the acidity of the fruit, and then get the richness of that pastry. Incredible.
Wow, okay, so where do we
Immerhin haben sie Gordon Ramsay sehr gut getroffen.
We're making our filling. So we've got about 1 kilogram of fresh cooking apples here. Fucking beautiful. And we're going to slice these up perfectly. Yep. And then straight into the pan.
Your new show, Demon Kitchen Heart Eater, starts on Friday here on Channel 1. So, tell us about that.
So, teams of young chefs come into my kitchen, and one by one I destroy them emotionally. And if there's time, I teach them some basic knife skills. Fuck me, Patrick. What are you doing?
What?
Shit. Is that how you cut? Fuck, you'll lose a fucking finger.
Oh, don't worry, I've got spares. Right, so once we've done that, we set these aside whilst we make the pastry. Yeah.
Bowl. Yeah? Okay. Sugar, butter.
Yep.
We mix that together, and then a whole egg.
Okay, egg.
What are you doing, you fucking donkey? Are your brains the size of that fucking egg?
Oh, no, Chef.
No. Shit. Right. Mix that with a wooden spoon and work in that flour, okay? Work that into a nice ball of dough, just like that.
So, what does the notoriously fierce
Fucking raw.
Jordan Rankley do to unwind?
Shit the bed.
Yeah.
What's that? What is that?
Well, it's a bit lumpy.
Lumpy? It could fucking pass for a sack of spuds. Touch that. Touch it. Yeah? Pathetic. That goes into chill. Now, we're mixing our filling.
Okay.
Apples, sugar, yes, cinnamon.
You own 6 restaurants across 5 territories. Which is your favourite?
Are you mixing that or fucking it?
What?
Are you going to light a candle? Take it out to dinner? Fucking mix it for fuck's sake. Right, now we're rolling out 2/3 of our pastry. Bit of flour into the dish.
And the filling goes next, right? The filling goes next.
Why are you watching this? Do you remember how it feels?
Ja, das frage ich mich auch gerade.
To feel connected to what has happened in the world. Do you remember Jeremy Donaldson? Because I do. I remember how he died. And now I watch this excuse of a program and I realize he was 100% right. Disrupt's first martyr died protecting this show. If you could see it now, you'd wonder why he bothered.
Lovely. Okay. Ta-da!
Oh my god. You, come here, you. That's a disgrace. I'd rather jam my eyeballs up my fucking arse than look at that. I'd rather use my tongue to tie my shoes after a fucking shit-kicking contest, do you understand?
Then it goes in the oven for 45 minutes.
Oh, put your fucking head in the oven while you're at it. Useless. You! Come here, you! You're the worst fucking thing to happen to food since cyanide. Do you know that? Tell you what. Fuck off! Get the fuck out of here! Fuck off!
Yes, okay, well, while I do that, let's go now to Megan and Robin, who will be announcing the winners of our competition. Visions of the Future.
Visions of the future.
Well, that looks delicious. If you want to follow along at home, then make sure you write in with a stamped addressed envelope and we'll send you the fact sheet. So, Robin, look at all these amazing entries to the Vision of the Future competition.
Yes, we challenged you to show us your predictions of the future, and we were just inundated with entries, weren't we, Megan? From wacky inventions to global problem solving, they are all amazing, and we had the best time looking through each one.
It was so tough narrowing it all down, so we have some amazing runners-up. In third place, drum roll please, we have Hamish, who's 3 from Lunwelly. He calls this Still Life and the Future of God, and it really blew us away. Just look at the line work here, and I can really feel every passionate stroke of the brush.
If you look here, you'll see a beautifully rendered, what I thought at first was a smiley face, or perhaps a cat. But I think if you really look, you'll see it's actually a representation of the seeming futility of death through the eyes of the living.
He's also chosen to just leave a lot of it blank, which I think is really interesting. If you know Hamish and his work, of course, he loves focusing on the negative space rather than the image itself.
Stunning, absolutely stunning, and such talent from one so young, Megan. But next up, we have our second place entry. So in second, drum roll please, we have Keith, 41 from Dungleys. Yeah, Keith, we were sort of aiming this towards our younger viewers, but still, he has sent in his idea of the future, which he's calling Ravaged Earth.
Indeed, he says in his really rather detailed notes, deprived of basic resources, society will resort to a brutal system of weekly battles to the death, where only the victor may breed. He also says at the bottom here, either that or about the same, but maybe a bit worse.
I really love his attention to detail. You can see the sort of gladiatorial arena, and then what I can only assume is Keith himself pulling off this chap's head and shouting, "Come back to me, Linda!" Oh, Keith. Maybe if you spent more time outdoors and less time entering children's competitions, she might not have left.
Special one there. And finally, of course, it's time to reveal our winner. All our runners-up will receive a day out at an inflatable Happy Land on an industrial estate just off the A40. Sorry about that, Keith. But our lucky winner will win the chance to spend the day at the Department of Change to see how our teammates are actually making the new future a reality every day. And the winner is, drum roll please.
I'll help you with that. I'll help you with that.
I've spent my whole life searching for truths. Sometimes I've found them. Other times I've not been so lucky. I used the rant about belief juice, a drug in the water. I was wrong. I admit that. It's not in the water. It's right here. In this screen. In this show. This is your belief juice. You drink it nightly. Through your eyes, and it makes you stupid and asleep.
It's getting involved in the party, aren't they? This one seems to have gone a bit haywire in what I can only assume is an ominous sign of things to come. Lovely, Lola.
Well, if our winners have inspired you to make some artwork of your own, do keep sending them in, and yours could be displayed in our gallery here.
Well done again to everyone who took part. We're going to take a break now, but when we come back, we'll be playing the Wheel of Truth and making some lovely homemade gifts. Don't go away. We'll be back after this.
Right. What I can tell, the machine's getting a bit worse for wear there, Alex. I expect your kit will be going downhill a bit more in this next segment, so be careful. Don't take any unnecessary risks. To be honest, I handed in my notice this morning. So long as it finishes, The rest doesn't really matter anymore.
Find me when you're done and I'll take you out through this.
Yes. Je nachdem, wie lange dieses Segment jetzt dauert, werde ich es einfach direkt für den Moment ausmachen, weil ich can't. Wenn jetzt gleich wieder so ein 20-Minuten-Segment kommt, in dem einfach gar nichts passiert. Es ist... Why? How? Why?
Smiles heads across territory.
Playing havoc with the sound.
It's bad out there. We're being stretched again.
Let's use a high-pass filter.
It's a revolution, Colin.
Well, can you ask them to keep it down a bit?
Jenny, where's Glenn? Can we get him out here? I'm not sure about this grandma one.
He's writing with our other guests at the moment.
I just wouldn't say grandma. Yes, grandmother's arsehole. It's much better.
Okay, everyone, if I can have your attention, please. Sarah just needs a word.
Apparently there's been some sort of disturbance near the studio. Now I'm sure it's nothing to worry about, but I wanted to let you know that I've asked for extra security and they're already on their way.
Okay, 10 seconds, so positions and pose.
Okay, this time you've said it.
Laughing, and we're going in 5, 4, 3.
A bit more audience reaction would be nice, Alex.
We were just saying we can't wait to taste Patrick's pie.
I don't know, I think I could wait.
Well, here it is, fresh out the oven.
Well, it does look amazing.
Jesus.
How did our Patrick do?
Well, let's just say that pie's got more crust than my grandmother's arsehole.
Well, thank you for that. Well, come on, try it. Dig in.
Okay. Oh my god. Oh, that's really something, Patrick. It's delicious. Really something, Patrick. But now you better go and get ready for our next feature. Every night we play a game of Wheel of Truth with our celebrity guests. But I know what you're thinking. Megan, we've only got one celeb guest. Well observed, viewers, well observed. Well then, I better bring her out. Should I? The surprise guest? What do you think? Here she is, best-selling author, lawyer and thinker. Oh, and she's only the blooming team leader. It's Julia Salisbury!
Prime Minister Julia Salisbury.
Oh, welcome, Julia. Darling. Oh, so good to see you.
Oh, Megan, you look incredible.
Stop it, I was just about to say the same thing. Now, don't get too comfortable. It's time to head over to Robin and Patrick as we play Wheel of Truth.
Has the audience gone to sleep? Remember the SFX buttons.
Wheel of Truth.
That's right, it's that part of the show where we pit our celebs against each other to see if we can break them. That's right, Robin. They're going to spin the wheel to pick a round, and it could be anything from box of flies to slap my face. They really have no idea what's in store. So, up first, we have Jordan. Let's give it a spin. Here we go. Okay, let's see what you've landed on. Okay, it's fact or fib. Jordan, is it true that you've been known to order takeaway for a dinner party and pass it off as your own cooking?
It's one fucking time. One time.
Well, I think it's that pie was anything to go by. You did them a favour.
Oh, not so fast there, Julia. Fact or fib? We've heard you've got a very interesting way of saving time during the laundry.
Oh my God!
Why don't you tell us about it?
You absolute... No, I can't. Okay,
Still alone. It's early morning as I record this. Maybe you'll see this tonight, or next week, or never. It takes a lot to even get these on the air. So many small acts of rebellion. But don't worry. The fact that you can hear this at all proves it.
I can't woo you! No! Honestly, raise my taxes. We're clearly not paying you enough.
Come to my dressing room after the We'll sort you out.
Oh, he's blushing, Patrick. Is all this talk of bras embarrassing you?
I mean, I'm not blushing. Come on then, you, Julia. Spin the bloody wheel.
Jesus. Fucking Christ. Wie kann man ein so geniales Spiel so verkacken? Ich verstehe es nicht. Es ist...
Okay, you ready? Here we go. Julia, who's that? Oh my God! Is that you? Yes! Look, it was a very difficult time fashion-wise.
That hairdo is fucking hilarious.
No, don't. I think it's sweet.
The mullet is as popular now as it's ever been.
Oh, well, don't get too ahead of yourself there. Jordan, who?
Oh.
Is this? Does that look familiar at all?
Wow! Well, I'm glad I was getting fashion advice from someone who managed to make 7 look like 85.
Shitting
hell! Where did you find that monstrosity? I look like I'm haunting the fucking place.
Right. We've got to move on. Jordan, let's have another spin.
Okay, here we go.
It's my go, you go. Go on. Sorry, I'm so keen. Let's go so much. Oh, well, you're in for a treat. Yeah. It's fat or fish. Okay. If you look under your podiums, you will find a lovely fish smoothie. Now, I'm going to ask you both a question, and all you have to do is answer it honestly, or else you'll have to drink the smoothie. Okay?
Okay.
Are you ready for the question? Yes. Here we go.
Which of your esteemed hosts is the more talented one?
Oh, what a cop-out. How is it?
Fucking
We made it extra fishy.
I need my fucking mouth. Do you know how much these taste buds are worth?
Well, we've got time for one more quick spin, so go, Julia, go!
Why? How? What am I doing with my life?
Julia, take a look in that box under your desk there. I think Lord Cheeks is trying to get in on the game. Bless him. Julia, what have you got in that box? It's not cheese, is it?
Juggling balls? What am I supposed to do with these?
Well, give it a go for us.
But I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing.
Come on.
Yes, let's all dance to a tune. Dance, puppets, dance.
She's doing it! She's fucking doing it!
Wow, that was so impressive. I have to say, unexpected. Well, gosh, that was our game of Wheel of Truth, and my God, wasn't that fun?
Okay, it really was, wasn't it? But now it's time to head over to Megan in Crafty Corner!
That's right, you join me in Crafty Corner, where today I'm going to be ably assisted by Julia. Come on over here. I don't know how you're keeping your dinner down. I can still smell that fish.
Well, to be honest, I've had worse. I used to eat at Peter Clement's house.
Oh, well, I hope you've got your artsy hat on, because today we're going to be making something very close to my heart. It's our little studio. Look at that. Isn't it adorable? All of us there on the sofa.
Wow. Oh, it's gorgeous. Oh, is that all you in there?
Yeah, it is. If we can just get a little zoom in. There we are. Oh, I don't know about you, Julia, but I always leave my holiday shopping to the last minute.
Oh, every year. I do it every year.
Well, luckily these make amazing gifts. Shall we get cracking?
Oh, yes, please.
We're going to start with a shoe box here. And Julia, that's it. Grab those scissors. I just want you to get rid of this front panel here.
Perfect. Will do.
Are you big celebrators in your house, Julia?
Oh,
Yes, no, in my house we show our love through food, like big dinners, loads of drink.
Absolutely right. That's the best bit about any holiday. It's all that food.
This bit as well.
Absolutely right. Cutting along the line there. Do be careful with the scissors at home. Make sure you're being supervised if you are a child. There we go. Fabulous. Okay, so it's going to look a little something like this, and I've got one here I made earlier. We painted it with a bit of poster paint, white to match our lovely curtains here in the studio, but you can obviously have whichever backdrop you like.
Like a nice shiny gold number.
Well, exactly right. So we're going to make bits of our set now to put in the studio, perhaps a little desk. So I'm just going to grab this piece of card. I've just got it from a little cereal box packet. I think you... I'll give you this one, Julia, shall I?
Thank you
There
so
you go.
much.
And all you need to do is cut along the lines there. Fabulous. So what's the best part of any Leaders' Day dinner, do you reckon?
I don't even have to think about it. Really? I love the 3 potato pie. The 3 potato
pie, I don't know that one.
You know, with the chips covered in the mash or wrapped up in a jacket potato. That just means it does that.
I don't know, but that sounds starchy. Well done, Julia. So now she's folding over a little bit there. What it's going to look like at the end is this little rectangular shape there. And we're going to pop it in the middle. Bit of sticky tape on the back there so it sticks down. Now we need a sofa. That's what we need next. We're going to make that out of a lovely paper cup. Having fun down there, knocking it all over.
I got one though, Megan.
Good, fantastic. You're just going to cut along the line here, down the middle. Exactly right. Then when you've done that, around the bottom and again around the top. Well done. When you're done,
there we go.
It's going to look a little something like this. And look what I've done there. I've stuck some felt down. Nice and comfortable sofas.
Yes, can't have our tiny Megan having an uncomfortable sofa, can
Well,
we?
absolutely not.
She'll be on the phone to her tiny agent and getting someone tiny fired.
Yeah. Well, there's only one thing missing, isn't there, Julia? What is that?
A higher calibre of guests.
Nearly, it's people. So all we've done to make our little people is we've stuck a cocktail stick into a bottle cap. We just need a face.
I'm speechless.
I've got a good one here. I know it well. It's me. I'm going to stick it down there. A little bit of sticky tape. Oh, my felt's going everywhere. There we go. Oh, I'm a bit lonely. Let's take Robin and Patrick over. Sitting down on the couch over there.
There you go. And well, I'll make myself just comfortable just there.
And these, of course, are all made and cut out of our favourite newspapers or magazines. You can have any guests you like. Julia, is there anyone else you'd like in a studio?
Oh, yes. Well, I'm going to be playing Wheel of Truth with Ronnie from Heat Rash. Nice. Yes, but that way. Yes, he's going to be teaching me choreography, and I'll be teaching him foreign policy.
And of course, you can decorate them however you want. Perhaps you're a bit, I don't know, nostalgic for the old look of our studio. We've got the blue studio down there, or even a bit of retro red. I've got Sheila Quickstep being interviewed there by. Sorry, that's not supposed to be.
Oh, well, we're out of time, I'm afraid, Megan. It's time for a break. When we come back, I'll be on the couch of chat talking to some of you, and I just cannot wait. We'll be back after these messages.
And we're out.
Okay, before we suffer through the last... What's that? Seems to be a little kerfuffle in the corridor. One moment.
First volume of my autobiography, Advancements
Honker.
Salisbury, is now available for all. These stories from my formative years in the uneven past are lovingly narrated by national treasure Lawrence.
Well, we've got the Prime Minister here. It's good that she's here. She's the reason for the extra security.
Are we going to need it?
Possibly. They're back. It's not very reassuring. I know. Good thing I'm not your mum, right?
After much pacing, and I confess, a few tears, I settled on the zip-back, boxy pleated skater skirt in dark blue with white sweetheart blouse and the necklace Harry had given me when we'd met in the woods and I'd allowed him to frolic in my glades.
It's an honest account of my childhood, because in the new future, there's no need for secrets.
There was just so much injustice in the world, I realized, as Portia Hamilton Mann lured my best friend into the convertible her daddy had bought her for Easter. How had I failed to predict the perils of being the poorest postgrad at Poshborough?
Over the course of 3 compact
bad,
discs
Mum.
or just
Not
22
like before,
cassette
it's so much
tapes,
more than we were expecting.
you can experience
and
a childhood
they're
under
better
the
organised
old
this
regime.
time. Like someone
And, like me,
experienced is running things.
understand why
Well,
we
we stopped
can
them before, we can
never
do
go
it
back.
again.
Oh,
Thank you, Sarah.
oh.
One more thing, Mum.
15
Apparently
minutes
there's
before the most
chatter about you.
important speech of my
I've requested
career, and I
backup,
had
but well,
stained my
we're
high-cut
stretched pretty thin,
navy
Mum.
trousers.
I receive death threats like other
Waves
people
of
receive
nervous
post. I've learned to
nausea
take it all with a
seized
pinch
me,
of salt. Of
like
course,
Harry
Mum.
did on
Thank you,
that
Sarah.
night when I let him touch me in the thicket.
Ah, you eased it.
I thought
have.
I may cry,
don't
but
have to.
fate intervened in the form of a dashing, young, up-and-coming television
Tell you when
presenter
the
named...
time's right. Forget I said anything.
You literally didn't. Going in 10 seconds.
I don't think she likes me very much.
Oh no, that's just how she shows love.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the Nightly Show, where it's time to get a little intimate with the Prime Minister on the couch of chat. Prime Minister, it's great to still have you with us.
Thanks, Megan. Although maybe now's the right time to tell you that you're going to be seeing an awful lot more of me.
Oh, why is that?
Well, I am delighted to announce that starting next week, I will be the new...
Miss Salisbury, could you get ready to accompany me, please? Please remain in place, Mum. It won't take a moment. Sit rep.
We do apologise to our viewers at home for this unexpected interruption.
I'm sure it's nothing to worry about.
Right, understood. Everyone, please remain calm.
How can I help?
Can you clear everyone out of that area? Everyone.
Okay, everyone, if we could just clear away from these studio doors. Yeah, that's right, just behind the cameras, please.
Do those doors lock? Is that Colin with the headphones on? Hey, mate, can you lock the doors? Can you not hear me?
Colin! Colin!
You can't hear us.
I'll do it.
No, miss, too late.
I'll do it.
I'm law enforcement, load your weapons on!
You two stay at the door, lock it tight, and don't let anyone in.
Yes, sir.
Now listen, there's no need for anyone to...
Back down!
Of course, whatever you say.
Are we still live?
Yes. Yes, we're live.
Good. Good. It's time for some real news. It's time for some real news. You, mic me up. You. Is it working?
I just need to...
Is it working?
It's working.
Good. Over there, on your knees. Now. Over there, on your knees. Next to him. Move! You, next to him. Move!
You okay, Colin?
Shitty birthday. Not the worst one I've had, though.
Let them go, Mr. James. It's me you want.
Don't flatter yourself. You're not the target here. You're just a bonus.
Oh my God, is it me?
We're not here to take out a person. We're not here to take out a person.
Hat der Bombengürtel? Ja,
Cancelling
klar.
the whole fucking show. Which camera? Which camera? I know you're watching this. In your vans. Planning your counter-attack. Please. Try and control yourselves. Or... well, I'm sure you know the rest.
Alan, we can talk about this.
Oh, we will. I have a lot of questions.
There's no need for anyone to get hurt.
Where was that attitude during the uprising? You know, the night your thugs killed my friends.
There are innocent people here.
Says the woman who killed 14 million of them. No, I don't feel any great need to answer to you. In fact, get over here.
I don't take orders.
Come here! You move when I tell you to! Give me that.
Alan, don't do it. You're not an executioner.
What am I then, eh? You tell me, Megan Wolf, what the fuck am I?
Just a man who's just way in over his head.
Don't patronise me, you smug bitch! I'm not one of your little helpers! Get over here! Kneel beside her! You're just as fucking guilty as she is!
Guilty of what, you fucking psychopath?
All of it! She sat there, smiling, and let it all happen! Jeremy Donaldson died for this programme. And she let it become this.
Not sure.
Bread and circuses. Bread and fucking circuses!
Don't you say his name.
I beg your pardon?
I said, don't you say his name. You don't get to do that! You don't get to do that!
You're angry at the wrong person, love. She's the one that killed him. The first victim of her benevolent slaughter, not the last, though.
All I am hearing is crazy.
Then maybe you should hear it from the source. Confess. Confess? Fine. Have it your own way.
Stop! For God's sake, stop! Stop! For God's sake, stop!
Answer my questions. Or she dies next. Yep. Then her.
Tell him what he wants to hear. Ask your questions.
Better. First question. How did you actually think this was all going to end?
In a better world.
Bullshit.
It's the truth! When we came into power, everything was broken. The system worked for so few. There was hunger and poverty and real pain. But you never saw that, Mr. James, because you were doing just fine, thank you very much. And my side? We were too weak, too meek. It was all good intentions and second chances and playing by the rules. Well, you know where playing fair gets the people at the bottom because of fucking nowhere. Someone had to be prepared to actually fight, to do what was required. So I did it. Because no one else was going to.
14 million people.
To save the 60 million here? What would you have done? Let us all starve to death?
You should have found another way.
There was no other way.
Is that how Peter Clement saw it?
No other way.
Is that how Peter Clement saw it?
Peter was weak. I loved him more than I have ever loved anyone, but he was soft. He wouldn't have allowed it to happen. And afterwards, he couldn't sleep. It haunted him. I think he would have killed him in the end anyway. But that's on me, Mr. James. What's on you?
We're not discussing me. Didn't you hear? Disrupt died on the night of the uprising.
Then how have we been watching you for months?
Watching me?
You're not the only one who knows how to get people on the inside. We knew you'd pop your grubby little head up again, and we've been collecting information just in case you did. There's a recording, a meeting of the so-called Disrupt leadership. Tiny hidden cameras, very high-tech. Perhaps the public should see what your bosses are talking about when there's no one else around.
We have people at the network jamming your signals, messing with your broadcast room. We'll stop you.
We have people too, and they've been doing this an awfully long time. Prepare the footage on screen 4. I guess it's up to the broadcast room.
You in there? If you play that footage, she dies.
Play it.
It's fine.
Play the tape. I've seen it. It's important. You could blow us up anyway, so just play the fucking tape.
Ich meine, ich will die Wahrheit senden. Also muss ich.
Let them play that tape. Take out those screens.
I visited Stas-Levigrad recently. What remains of it.
Wenn das die Wahrheit ist, dann wollen wir es hören.
Apparently it's too dangerous to send in men to put out the fires.
We have all lost that to which we were attached.
5 years, General, and still it burns. That is why this cannot be allowed to happen again.
Then we are all agreed. Once normality returns, we will proceed in a process of sanitization, Viscount.
My estimates suggest that we will need to expunge at least 45,000 in each territory, and if we are to be certain, many hundreds of thousands more. There'll be regional variations, of course, but the numbers will remain surprisingly consistent.
It will be an industrial procedure. We will need facilities.
Undoubtedly.
Oh, my people can deal with that. They're experienced in clandestine construction under challenging conditions.
But it will have to be all of them, General. The intellectuals, the radicals, free thinkers, anyone who does not understand and accept the natural order of existence.
Of course, Jacob. There can be no fertile ground left for these ideas to take root again.
Merely resistance. We should also consider relatives and close friends. They will no doubt have been exposed to dangerous ideologies anyway.
That could be millions of people.
Yes, but we can manage it. I mean, once the processing is up and running, we can streamline it.
You're certain you can manage these numbers, General?
Oh, yes, Viscount, possibly more. And then there's the transition centres. They can be easily repurposed.
Well, then, this is marvellous. Marvellous, gentlemen.
There is one other matter to discuss. Our colourful spokesman.
Mr. James, He's useful, for now. His appearance works well for us with the common class.
But he'll have to go too, him and all his type.
Oh, yes.
On that I think we can all agree. Let him dance today for the masses who clap and cheer, and then later we cut his strings.
Obviously, the face of the future looks nothing like Mr. James.
Yes. I remember when we had troublesome cadets in a unit, we used to send them on a doomed mission. Gave their relatives something to be proud of, an honourable death of a loved one. Stopped them asking some troublesome questions.
An excellent solution. Mr. James is full of passion. Let him consume himself with it.
Shall we turn to the matter of a new curriculum?
Bad choice, Alex. Kill her. No, wait. Better yet. This is on you.
Songbird down! Repeat, songbird down!
Everybody stop!
Lower your weapons. Think about this, Mr. James. No one else needs to die today.
I agree. In 4 minutes' time, a helicopter is going to land on the roof of this building. I will be making my way up there and boarding that helicopter. And then I'll be on my way. And as you so observantly pointed out, no one else will need to die here today. I imagine you'll be joining me on the roof.
You know I can't let you leave this room. Alan Stephen James, you are formally requested for dialogue. Under Section 12 of the Mental Health and Antisocial Activity Act, if you refuse to collaborate, I am clinically empowered to intervene. Anything you say can and will be used in efforts towards your betterment.
You're arresting me. Do you not see this?
A palliative advisor will be made available to you at no cost. Do you understand these advantages as I have expressed them to you?
You must be fucking kidding me!
The patient has refused to engage.
You have no power here! If I take my thumb off this trigger...
The patient is a clear and present danger.
I don't understand.
Centigrade received. Target neutralized. Headquarters, I can confirm intelligence.
What?
The device was sabotaged by person or persons unknown. 4 civilian casualties present, including Songbird. Is anyone else injured? All other hostages traumatized, but otherwise unharmed. Why are these lights on?
We're broadcasting your live.
Control, I need transmission stopped immediately.
No, we can't just cut the signal. We have to say something. We can't just leave them. We have to say something.
I think everyone's seen more than enough.
The god smiles like a million instas, breaking the heart of widows and spinsters, smashing it up on everyone's Tinders, and they wanna kill you.
Also, du sagtest, es gibt irgendwie 13 Enden oder so. War das dann das Beschissenste?
Sparkling wit and a laugh so hearty, and they want to kill you for being human. They got a cool with the wide circumference, beautiful words to disguise their nonsense, pulling the smiles of the Tory conference, and they wanna kill you, scribbling lies in the manifesto. Don't give a shit cause you won't protest, so dazzled and dazed by the posh hey presto, and they wanna kill you for being human, and they wanna stop you from being human, and they're trying to prevent you from being human.
Also wenn das Spiel ungefähr so halb so lang gewesen wäre, dann wäre es perfekt gewesen. Und das Ende jetzt mal ein bisschen schwierig. Ich skippe das jetzt mal. Noch irgendwas. Ich glaube, du meinst das hier.
General Masters, who has granted himself extraordinary powers, insists they will only last 6 months. It is believed that political leaders are still being held under house arrest by the military on charges of election rigging, though the general is yet to produce any evidence to support this claim. As clashes between protesters and troops continue in Western Square this evening, I want to once again urge our viewers to stay safe as soldiers begin to patrol our streets, enforcing a curfew.
Okay.
Good evening, I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Dawes. Our main headlines tonight.
Das sieht leider immer noch schlecht aus. Jo, gut. Dann was ist jetzt hier? Ja, irgendwie leider schauen. Und um uns alle ein bisschen zu entspannen, machen wir jetzt das einzig Richtige, was man nach so einem Spiel machen kann. Ah, ich kann Bob Ross nicht raiden. Schade. Nur denn. Der ist jetzt hier, aber Schicht im Schacht. Jesus Christ.